Don't worry. I'm on my way. Are we gonna have to make like a Doctor Doom one of these now? Cause like what? What? I'm still confused. I'm still shocked. I think we all are. So I think we need to have a conversation. I'll see you in a second. Welcome on in, chat. What is going on? Hope you guys are having a good day. Good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. Yeah, we got to get into this, man. We got to do some nerd venging today. Lots to talk about, lots to discuss. And, you know, like, honestly, I am still in somewhat of shock, and you know what it really is? It feels like a big dopamine dump happened. I'm feeling a little fried. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm feeling a little fried. Like I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. But god damn, Marvel, can you give my brain a little break? Holy shit! Crazy, man. Crazy. So, yeah, a lot to get into. Of course, we had Deadpool and Wolverine. I went to see the movie again. I drove to Pittsburgh, and I drove back yesterday just to go see this movie with my best buddy, and it was freaking awesome. I enjoyed the movie a lot more the second time, which is really cool. Also got to see it, like, with a really good crowd. You know, we went so early on Thursday that the crowd wasn't really there, really vocal. Like there were some people that were trying, but you know what, if it's, you know, like not a ton of people in there, it's kind of harder. There was a great crowd yesterday, man, and dude, this movie's such a crowd pleaser. I had an absolute blast watching it, man. Had a blast watching it with my buddy, dude. So I want to see it again. It's a super rewatchable movie. Feels like you know, a return to form in a lot of ways for Marvel. How would a Thursday crowd be lame? Well, Thursday at 3 p.m., like super early in the afternoon is where we went. Like I said, people were excited. There wasn't a ton of people there. People were still getting off work, you know, going to see it later in the day, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, seeing it with the crowd is awesome. You know, similar vibes to Spider-Man No Way Home. That's an incredible movie with a crowd. So, might even go out and see it again this coming weekend. Yeah, and I do feel like this movie's gonna have super crazy legs, because I think, like, bro, like this movie is doing stuff that just hasn't happened, you know, in a while, and it just feels like this big communal celebration. Everybody's really loving it. You know, we went out for food. We went to a bar for food afterwards, and there's like people that work there coming up to us, talking about it, gushing about the movie. People just super excited. It really does feel like an event, man. And you know, I think between that movie and San Diego Comic-Con, and of course RDJ coming back, which is still just like, you know, like I'm blown away. It right now, Marvel Studios is being built up like wrestling. This is like WWE right now. That it is crazy. Like the promotion, just the eventizing, whatever the right eventing thing is. Yeah, it's super crazy. So I think Marvel in a lot of ways just sucked the air completely out of the room. You know, there were a lot of cool things that happened at San Diego. I don't remember. I don't know what they are. Some DC stuff happened, I'm sure. You know, some other stuff happened, I'm sure. You know, there was some this, that, second, and third. It doesn't matter, dude. And in fact, I think even the San Diego Comic-Con stream, right? Which, dude, it was awesome. Appreciate you guys being there. Such a fun stream. That's one of my favorite streams every year. It's like my favorite stream, right? And so I appreciate you guys being there. We did huge numbers. It was super fun. But I think, you know, if we're being honest, a lot of that presentation was, I mean, is now kind of forgotten and was at the time kind of softball. You know, like it was fine, and we're going to go over it. There's a nice aggregate of like all the different updates and everything and what it meant. So we'll go over that. Little things here, little things there. Probably the most to talk about Fantastic Four, because there's a lot of questions about it, and there was a lot of stuff revealed. First look at Galactus, you know, Future Foundation confirmation, all sorts of stuff, right? But ultimately, the Avengers announcement obliterates every other story. Every other story right now it's not really the thing that people are talking about. It's not really what people are thinking about. And you know, I said this in my reaction video, but I gotta say, man, you know, whether or not you love this idea or not, which we're gonna get into today because it's crazy. There's basically 3 different options that they have with this. All of them are insane with RDJ as Doom, right? So however you personally feel about it, it's undeniable that Marvel Studios does this hype thing better than anybody. And building, you know, again, like a WWE promo, it's insanity. Like, just at the absolute apex, top of their game. And the thing about Marvel is, Marvel used to kind of run on that hype machine, right? And like knowing the next thing in the movie, or even the idea of the Infinity Stones and Thanos is like this big payoff kind of hype thing that you follow and you get excited about in the future. And, you know, just so much of that kind of same energy really did drive the Infinity Saga. And given where they were at with, you know, an option to like, because basically, like, here's the option, right? Because I see this whole thing with, you know, Kang and, you know, there's some people out there upset that they're going this hard away from Kang, right? Definitely seen that attitude out there. Which, by the way, you guys should go follow me on the Twitters, especially because I just got this really cool new banner on my Twitter. I want to show you guys this. Can you see that? Yeah, man. So I do see some people and some attitude out there about, you know, Kang and, oh no more Kang. The reality is they had a couple options. Recast Kang and just go for it, right? Which, look, I said a long time ago was a terrible fucking option. It's bad for a number of different reasons, okay? Number one, it's automatically associated with majors, the questions, all of that. So by doing that, and look, hey, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not even saying there's like, I'm not trying to pass this as a moral judgment. It's just fucking reality, dude. Like, if you go out there with Kang now, any Kang, bro, you could, like, it doesn't matter who you cast as Kang. It's going to come with questions about majors, about Marvel, about the interior, all this stuff that's essentially baggage to the movie and the character. That was inevitable. No matter how badly you don't want that to be the case, that's the case. That was going to happen. Number two, it was always going to feel lesser than even the original plan and vision. Guys, dude, you guys remember after Loki season 1? After Loki season 1, dude, we were all hyped on Kang. After He Who Remains, dude, we were like, let's fucking go, dude, Kang, oh my God, they're going to do all this crazy stuff. Everybody loved it. The more they showed us of Kang, and really this was Quantumania, the more we were like, I don't know about that shit, you know? Straight up. So it was always going to be associated as like lesser than. It wasn't this big hyped up thing on the hill anymore. It was like, well, I guess we'll see. That's the vibe. That's what was going to. So basically, you had that shit associated with Kang, and no matter how you slice it, if you were going to do more shit with Kang, that's the vibe. So it feels like some people were literally like, I don't care. Still, they should have buckled up for that. And they should have just rode through that rough road of mediocrity and lack of hype, and they should have delivered Kang's story. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't know this, but I don't give a fuck about Kang's story. I don't. Fuck Kang. Now, hang on. Everybody calm down. Let me take a sip of my coffee and try to relax, you know? Like, I'm running on fumes here. The weekend's been crazy. My brain's not all right. I'm sorry, okay? Just hang on. Pump the brakes. But fuck Kang, though, for real. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I try not to yell. But fuck Kang, you know. So that was their option, and I guess some fucking people thought that would be the way to go, right? And I was just like, look, at the end of the day, I've been following Marvel Studios for a long time. Okay? This is my job. It's weird. I don't even know how we got here. It's a weird world. But because this has literally been my job, which I spend like 60, 80, fucking sometimes 100 hours a week on this shit, right? I would have to be a complete nincompoop. I would have to be a nincompoop to not like start to notice patterns and learn things. You know? And one of the things I've learned is just like you kind of get a feel for how Kevin views this stuff, how he views the promotion, and how he does this shit. He was not going to do that middle of the road like, oh yeah, we'll try to make Kang work. No, like they needed to go big, bro. You know what I mean? Like they needed to go big. And so they cooked up not only something big, but they cooked up maybe the biggest thing they could possibly cook up. Like I didn't see it coming, despite Jeff Snyder kind of sniffing it out. I didn't see it coming at all. Shocking. Unbelievable. Chat, that's my first question to you guys. And I do appreciate it. Anthony, thank you for the gifted membership, baby. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah, we should get that thing up there. Because we crushed our goal. Let's go. That's kind of my first question to you guys, man. Do you think that there is even another announcement that could have been bigger than this? You called it months ago? What do you mean by that? What do you mean I called it? What does that even mean? Yeah, I was kind of, I might have thought something similar a while back, but I was kind of on the AVX train, if I'm going to be real. Because, again, I called Doom appearing. Of course I called Doom appearing. And I thought, yeah, for sure. But I'm talking about the combination of Doom and RDJ. Like, bro, let's be real. Doom, yeah, everybody should have seen that coming a mile away. And I think some people just got emotional, got in their feelings, and they want to see Kang finish his story. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. Of course, Doom. But what I'm saying to you is, bro, nobody saw this shit coming. RDJ as Doom? That's a whole different ball game. Sam Shills, thanks for the 5 gifted, brother. Appreciate you, man. Oh my God, you guys have been so fucking generous this month. Thank you so much. Just a quick note on that, by the way. We're gonna do a ton of giveaways. I want to do them on Wednesday. I wanted to have stuff planned for today, to be honest with you, but yesterday was crazy for me. Woke up, did a video, left, drove down to Pittsburgh, saw the movie, came back. I was burnt out. I'm actually still burnt out, to be completely honest with you. So I'm gonna take a nap after this video or after this stream. But Wednesday, guys, last stream of the month, we crushed our goal. So we're going to do a bunch of giveaways. I'm going to go out and try to get more Deadpool swag. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to try to find some Dr. Doom swag, which should become easier and easier within the next year. That's another reason I'm so hyped, dude. Marvel's going to start putting out a lot of Dr. Doom shit. I'm going to eat it up, baby. I'm going to fucking eat it up. Guilty as charged. Am I going to spend thousands of dollars on Doctor Doom shit in the next couple of years? Guilty as charged. But yeah, so we're going to do that on Wednesday, man. Last stream of the year. You know what I want to do on Wednesday too, guys? Let me see what you guys would be feeling about that. Mystic Troll is here. Sick, bro. You need to hit me up, Mystic Troll. Please. Hit me on Twitter. Hit me on Discord, man. Do you know what I want to do on Wednesday, guys? And I don't know if you guys would be down. You let me know. Oh, hang on. We got to talk to text.
Won't any interaction require explanation? It's starting in a hole to write out of instead of a fresh start for Doom?
Yeah. No, that's fair, bro. We're going to talk about all that shit. Don't worry. I have thoughts. You know what I mean? I have complicated thoughts on it. Also, Wakey Bakey Sama, thanks for the bits over on Twitch, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll get into that, man. No, not last stream of the year. What? The last stream of the month. Guys, I told y'all my brain was fried today. Just bear with me. Okay. Listen, Linda. You're not listening. You know what I want to do on Wednesday, guys? And please, let me know if you would be down with this, chat. I want to watch videos about Doctor Doom for like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 hours straight. Just like gooning on fucking Doctor Doom. Like, just let's do the lore. Let's go through his greatest moments. Let's watch all of the comic videos. Let's watch power scaling videos. Let's watch videos of him whooping other people's asses. Let's fucking... I mean, would that be too crazy? Gooning on Doom? All right, okay, so that maybe that's we should brand it a little differently. You know what I mean? We're not the Deadpool franchise. Dr. Goon. You know, but there is a YouTuber, I think his name's Mr. Goon. He's a huge Doctor Doom fan, literally, and he has made what he calls Gooning on Doom videos. He has a 2-hour compilation of like Doctor Doom's greatest hits and like all the crazy shit he's done. Yeah, man. Yeah. So we watched that. We could watch obviously some of Rob's stuff. We could watch some of Benny's stuff, you know. We could go hard on some Doctor Doom. Watch some Doctor Doom episodes of the cartoons and shit. I love your enthusiasm for Doom. That's why I made that Doom figure I made and sent it to you. Hell yeah, man. I remember. I appreciate it, man. Big Goon energy. Oh, jeez. We're way off. Oh, dude, Rob's video yesterday. Yeah. And I'm hoping that Rob pops into chat and then like we could get him on a call for sure. Talk to him a little bit over the weekend. But, dude, Rob's video Sunday morning was crazy. It's funny, too, because I actually tweeted about it before, because Rob didn't tell me what his video was. And I actually tweeted the take over the mind thing, too, because I was thinking about when he took over Daredevil's body, because I literally talked about that on the SDCC stream. Doom takes over Matt Murdock's body just to show everybody that he could fucking be Daredevil if he wanted to. It's crazy. And then there's also a part in comics where even if you obliterate Doctor Doom's body, he will send his consciousness. He like learned this crazy technique because of course he did, because he's fucking Doctor Doom. But he can send his consciousness into another body. Yeah. So there's just so goddamn much that they could do with Doom. He learned it from Palpatine. Yeah, kind of. It does sound like Palpatine. Do you know what's crazy, guys? I was working on, because I want to launch I'm working on another channel, a video essay channel. And the first video, I'm talking about like, dude, I think I wrote, this first script I think is like 3,000 words or something, maybe more. But I've been working on a big Doctor Doom video, so I've been actually doing a lot of Doom research lately. And, yeah, it's pretty wild that they have this cooking. Anthony, thanks for the 10, brother. Says, first super chat. I've been watching for a long time. I share your true passion for Marvel. I hope to be able to meet you in person one day. I like you. I will never give up on Marvel. Much love. Oh, hell yeah, man. Maybe we'll meet out at a Comic-Con someday, man. Another channel that won't get any videos. No! This one I'm gonna keep with. Trust me. I can't say too much more for now, but trust me, we're cooking up something different. You know, look, I love Warhammer and I love the Warhammer videos that we did, but I think my true nerdy talents are kind of like this channel is going to be better because instead of being focused on one thing, it's a video essay channel about nerdy things. So I have all kinds of ideas and I can offer like a really unique thing with this channel. So yeah, trust me. Sidewinder channel, oh my god. Do we have to talk about Sidewinder? I still don't even believe it, dude. I still don't even believe he's Sidewinder. If he's really Sidewinder, I'm disappointed. I think they literally changed it because it leaked out. Like, come on, man. Are you serious? Like, if Giancarlo is actually excited to play Sidewinder, like, there's no way. That they have changed that. God. I believe it. I mean, icky. Sidewinder, cool. Sidewinder is a mutant. Cool. Is Rob coming out today? He has an open invitation. I talked to him on Saturday. He said he'd be down. We'll see if he pops in here. I can also hit him up later as well. Should we get into the recap, guys? Let's get into a little bit of a recap here, and then we'll dig deep into the Doctor Doom of it all, because I have a lot to say on that. Lot to say about Victor. Lot to say about RDJ. All right, let me get this pulled up here. Okay. So this is actually a nice little aggregate right there. That's a nice little aggregate. And so we'll go over this, man. There we go. Make it a little larger. Okay, so let's start with the Captain America Brave New World stuff. As I said, guys, this is kind of the pattern. This is what they do. The movies that are coming out the soonest get the most time. They get the most detailed stuff revealed, sizzler reels, trailers, etc. So just a little bullet point thing that we're going to go over here. So adamantium is now confirmed to show up in the movie via the dead celestial body. That's a long-standing rumor. We kind of knew that that's what it was, but it's also cool that they actually confirmed it in the trailer. I believe, too, this is during the speech that President Ross gives. And here's the second one here. It says a new clip was shown. President Ross is given a speech, then transformed into the Red Hulk. This is the coolest thing that they have going on with this movie, to be honest with you. So apparently, the president gives a speech outside the White House and transforms into the Red Hulk during the speech. Can you imagine? So that's super badass. So they're not going to like hide it. He's going to turn into the Red Hulk, show that to the American people, and that is wild. That's going to be super interesting. Like, I actually really like that. So hopefully, like, the whole world responds in a really interesting way, and that kind of drives things moving forward. Will Red Hulk become the villain of the movie? They're kind of setting that up, right? Him versus Sam and all these different things. So I'm a little confused as to how all of that's going to work, but you know, Red Hulk's the coolest thing that they have going on in this movie. Giancarlo confirmed to be Sidewinder, King of the Serpent Society. Boo hiss, lame. They called it a return to the Winter Soldier, which is chill. Anthony Mackie still talking shit on Tom Holland. Okay. Tim Blake teases they have written a great story for the leader in Captain America Brave New World. It's been 16 years. Tell us about him now. I can't say much. No spoilers. I want them to bring me back. That's cool. That's cool. Rob says it isn't lame. Oh, God. Well, you know what? Look, here. Maybe Rob can sell me on it. But I'm just going to say, It's lame. It's lame. It's lame until I reserve the right to change my mind. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Boo, hiss, lame. Rossi, thanks for the 20 spot, brother. I think RDJ will be replaced after Secret Wars as Doom. If that happens, I'm cool with RDJ casting. If not, I have mixed feelings. I feel like we'd be getting robbed a little of the true Latveria Dr. Doom. Yeah. We'll, dude, trust me. We're going to get there. I'll bring it back up, but let's just stay on target. Proud to become this one's interesting to me, actually. Harrison Ford is being very positive about Marvel. Very different than the way he's talking about Star Wars, okay? So there's a couple of things that could be going on here, right? Number one, maybe Harrison Ford is legitimately just having fun. Maybe he's legitimately having the kind of money that makes almost anything fun, you know? Maybe they're paying this dude, like, ridiculous, dude, which they gotta be, bro. Like, I don't know what they're paying. Like, I don't know what they're paying Harrison Ford. But, I mean, people might be mad when they see how much RDJ is probably going to be making. Harrison Ford is probably making close, bro. Like, come on. Harrison Ford, are you kidding me? So, look, that could be the option. You know what the third option here is? Marvel's PR just might be incredible. You know, and this is something that, I was talking about on Twitter a little bit. And, we don't really have to bring up Star Wars that much, RIP, and feel bad for all those fans. You know what I'm saying? But, look, Star Wars, their PR is terrible. So when you get, I really don't know because it's Harrison Ford, right? He's a curmudgeon. He's going to say whatever he wants. But at the same time, I do wonder if there's a filter there from the company that's basically just like, hey, Harrison, here's like kind of what our fans are like. And, they'd probably like these kind of things. And they don't like it when you say this or whatever, I don't really know how that works. But I do know that Harrison Ford being kind of chill and having fun and wanting to have fun in Marvel just feels good. It's a feel-good thing, so that's cool. And then he said here, just when I think my nerdy life can't get more complete, I hear Harrison Ford say adamantium. Kevin Feige on Harrison Ford joining the MCU. That's sick, dude. So, yeah, Harrison Ford, Red Hulk. We'll see. What do you guys think, man? Yeah, exactly. Harrison, here's $35 million if you act like you like us. Yeah, but like real talk, like why isn't that happening in Star Wars? Because it's one thing, and I think it's funny because if Star Wars wasn't fucking up so bad, maybe we would be like, that's whatever. But we have the other version. Like we have the version of like bad, really bad, like say stuff that pisses the fans off, like be really fucking annoying kind of PR. And then you've got Harrison Ford like speaking positively. It's kind of chill. It's kind of cool. This presentation didn't do much for me for Captain America. I think Deadpool and Wolverine did a really good job of like making people have a lot of fun with a Marvel movie. And I think that you will actually see a little boost from that on Captain America. But I think, the thing that Marvel doesn't want us to talk about and the sort of reality of the situation is if this presentation is kind of splitting the difference between old Marvel, the Marvel from the past couple of years that has frustrated fans, and new Marvel and hype and totally different. Because, like, dude, RDJ, Doctor Doom, fucking, dude, it could not be more different than Avengers 5. Throw Avengers 5, the Kang Dynasty, everything you thought you knew, throw it out the window. This is probably a page one rewrite, although that's not been confirmed. So it's like on the one hand, Marvel's changing more than ever, and it's like, bro, anything's possible. On the other hand, they have these projects, they have these things that come from that old mentality that are constrained just by the fact that like they've already shot a bunch of stuff, right? Captain America, I mean, who knows exactly what they added to this movie? This is one of the most expensive movies in the history of Hollywood now, which keeps happening to Harrison Ford, funnily enough, with like Indiana Jones in this movie. So I think for a lot of us that are really paying attention, we're basically like, okay, well, if Brave New World is palatable, and I have a good time, I don't need it to be Winter Soldier. I don't even need it to be Deadpool and Wolverine. But if it's like fun and it feels like You're trying to please the fans. And then we get Thunderbolts, and I think Thunderbolts just has to be fine. I think the reality of the situation, if Marvel was being completely honest with us, I think they would admit those two projects, best we can do, make them mad decent. Like, mad decent. You know what I mean? So, Fantastic Four, however, that's a totally different story. High hopes on Fantastic Four. That could potentially be, like, really, really crazy and really good. And then I think there are unannounced other films, Spider-Man 4, Doc Strange 3, that will fit in to what they're doing with the Avengers movie. So, you know, Cap, whatever. Thunderbolts, there's even less to talk about. Joy of watching them together is that they don't play well. That's cool. Sebastian Stan says that Pew Pew is the standout. There's a first Thunderbolts trailer. Yelena visits Red Guardian, calls him dad, says that she found the only reason for living is killing others. Ghost has a new costume. Thunderbolts have been individually assigned to the same job. Harbor's dressed as Red Guardian. Man, it's so wild because that's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Now, I would expect the marketing for the actual movie and stuff that maybe we'll do at San Diego Comic-Con next year, you get a little bit more. You know, you get a little bit more. But, again, I think it just needs to be fine. So it is what it is. Okay, now, moving right along. The Fantastic Four. It begins filming tomorrow. That's crazy. So they're ready to go. And, like, it's just fun to kind of know that and to feel that the energy from Comic-Con, the energy from Deadpool and Wolverine is going to flow right into Fantastic Four. It absolutely will, man. It absolutely will. It's described as retro future of the 60s. Matt Shackman says they went to the desert to find the best-looking rocks to make the thing. During that bit, I watched the actual video where he's talking about that. He's talking about getting a lot of details right. He talked to a lot of different experts in different fields. And Shackman is just really taking the movie really seriously. He wants it to be very cosmic and grand in nature, but also have like a sort of scientific realism that kind of grounds some of the concepts that are in the movie. So that's kind of interesting. Pre-shoot material for the Fantastic Four is being shot in 4:3. I'm not going to show this, but it is online. This did leak, and I believe it got spread around a little bit more because it's just a little bit more hype than like Thunderbolts and some of the other stuff, right? So, you know, you've got Galactus coming right up to the window. You've got the Future Foundation. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It looks really cool. Like, I think it looks really cool. They have... teaching science class, the Fantastic Car, the old Cadillac, looks out of the Jetsons. They had that actually come on to the stage, which was pretty chill. So I thought that was really fun. Footage of Galactus shows his face peering through a building. Very clearly a cosmic entity. Again, it's out there. It's out there. I don't want to share it because I won't get in trouble. But it's out there, and I think it looks cool, man. We're the only Brits in the cast, so we're going to make everyone go to the pub since we're filming in London. Vanessa Kirby on her and Joseph Quinn and their sibling bond. That's, you know, that's chill, fair. I didn't think about that, but yeah, I guess they're both Brits. We're all going to work very hard to bring a feeling of family to this. I don't think I've laughed so much in a rehearsal period before. Vanessa Quinn rather, Joseph Quinn and Vanessa Kirby on the cast. They will appear in both the upcoming Avengers movies. That's a pretty big deal. That is something we reported, something that's been out there, leaks, rumors, etc. But it is pretty crazy. Fantastic Four going to be in the next two Avengers movies. Now, I'm going to skip ahead to something just because I think it's kind of interesting. Although Shackman played it coy, I believe the Hollywood Reporter confirmed that RDJ will be Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four movie as well. Okay, so Doom or Iron Doom or whatever they're doing, RDJ Doom, he's going to be a part of the Fantastic Four movie, likely in the background, setting something up at the end of the film. And he's going to be in the next two Avengers movies. So, pretty crazy. All right, so now let's get into the big, juicy stuff. And this stuff blew my fucking mind. Okay, this stuff blew my mind. The Russo brothers are set to direct Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars. That was, of course, broke in the Hollywood trades. Again, they scooped Jeff Snyder. Hey, Jeff Snyder's got some pretty good sources. I wonder if what he was talking about with Brie Larson and the Marvels was true. Anyway, moving right along. Joe and I truly believe that this was the end of us in the MCU because we had put all of our passion and love into those past films. But, and this is not in this quote here, but I remember the quote because I looked a lot of this shit up, right? They said, essentially, Joe said, you know, those 4 movies took a lot out of us, a big emotional toll. We legitimately thought we were done, but they have a story. And I think that's really important, actually. They have a story, the Russos, and they see a way forward with this story. Now, according to some of the other stuff that was out there, the Russos had this pitch for Avengers 5, and Marvel originally rejected it. They wanted to go with somebody else fresher. Now, I'm super curious about what this pitch process was like. There's still a lot we don't know. But I wonder, right? I wonder. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, guys. This is speculation, right? I'm not reporting. But I wonder, did the Russos' pitch have the RDJ Doom thing? Was that unique to their pitch? That's what I keep wondering. Because for them to have a story, right? I truly believe that they would not come back if they didn't have something that they felt would be very satisfying to the fans, because of course they've always thought about Secret Wars and they were thinking about Secret Wars. R. Maurice, appreciate you, brother. $100 super chat. Hot damn. Does this guy sell racehorses in Dubai or sling Lamborghinis on the side as his Bitcoin farm prints money? What's going on over there, R. Maurice? Appreciate the support, man. Appreciate the love. Let me try to get back to my point, but I will, of course, go over your question. Appreciate you. Sells feet pics. He's probably got some great-looking feet, he or she, then. Okay. So, going back to Doom, right? Let me just kind of talk you through my thoughts on this. If the Russos have a story, and they saw a way for Secret Wars, it's really interesting to me because they were the guys that were cooking in the Infinity Saga and cooked in the last 2 Avengers movies. And I promise you, they were thinking of Secret Wars then. They've even said in interviews that, like, yeah, they would always want to do Secret Wars. There were maybe even plans for them to do Secret Wars. They had ideas. They were taking meetings. Like, a lot. Dude, trust me, I've been following this shit maybe close. I've perhaps followed this more closely than anyone. Anyone. And with more of a fine-tooth comb, with more of a weird, super good memory, you know, like, I've just fucking poured over this shit. I remember we talked about it many a time here on the stream, right? These guys were cooking, and they were thinking of Secret Wars. So my question is, were they cooking with this idea all the way back then? Because another thing that's kind of interesting here is the Russos were against killing Iron Man. The Russos were against killing Iron Man. Did you know that Downey was originally against killing Iron Man too? So I wonder if this was an idea that they have been cooking for some time. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's talk about it itself, right? Robert Downey Jr. will star as Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday. And they introduce him as Victor Von Doom, right, on stage. And there's been a lot of confusion. Look, I was told initially I was told by a reliable person it's Tony. It's going to be a Tony variant, and a lot of people are saying that that's what it is. I had another reliable person say, no, it's actually Victor. This is Victor. The character is Victor Von Doom. Okay? So, let's get into it. I think there are basically 3 options that they have to do this. Okay? Yeah, it can be both. That's kind of the first option. So, the first option would be... Well, let me just try to break it down simply because it's going to get confusing in my brain. And again, I'm super fried, so just bear with me. First option, it's a Tony Stark variant that becomes Doctor Doom. Okay? So it is a variant of Tony that becomes Doom. Maybe he even knew Doom in his timeline. Maybe he makes a deal with Mephisto. Like, dude, I had this crazy idea where I was like, yo, what if it's Tony? And then after Sokovia happens, right? He begins to like dabble in magic. He makes a deal with the devil. He becomes, for all intents and purposes, Doctor Doom. And so instead of having like our Tony, become, more of a corporatized Avengers hero and do all that, this Tony's like, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to take full control myself. And then Sokovia becomes Latveria. It's kind of interesting. Right. The second option is that it's actually Victor Von Doom and that this is a dual role. And just like Chris Evans, just like Gemma Chan, just like, I think potentially a lot of different people could play different roles in the MCU. Maybe it's full on Victor and maybe, RDJ, they'll do prosthetics. There's some word that he's going to take the mask off a lot. I think My Time to Shine is saying that Doom's going to take the mask off a lot. He doesn't even have to look like Tony Stark, right? They could literally this is an Academy Award winning actor. He just played some weird dude in Oppenheimer, with like prosthetics. He's no stranger to prosthetics if you've ever seen, Tropic Thunder. So, I think that's the second option. That's the simple one, is it could actually be Victor Von Doom. Now, the third option, which at first felt like a real outside chance to me, but now seems more real than ever, is that it is both. That he is Victor Von Doom, the character whose mother was a witch, father was, a doctor / was into technology, grows up under the Baron. His mom makes the crazy deal with Mephisto. Her soul is gone. The father tries to heal the Baron's child and then dies frozen holding him. And just the whole way down, it's Victor. And then Victor steals the body of Robert Downey Jr., of Iron Man. Okay? So this could be Victor Von Doom, the character who took over the body of a Tony Stark variant. And it's like, why would Victor take over the body of Robert Downey Jr.? Well, there's several different reasons why. And Rob made that video on Sunday morning, which to me, I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy. Like, that's really, really cool. So I'll TLDR Rob's video, but you should definitely check it out because it's fantastic. There's a story in which instead of it being Reed at college with Victor, it's Tony. And so it's Tony and Victor, and they're at the college. Now, if you know Doom's backstory, in college, Doom builds a chair, basically, that's meant to take him to hell. He's using technology in school to make a thing that'll transport him to hell because he wants to get his mom's soul back. Okay? It blows up, it scars him, and he gets expelled. That's what happens in Victor's normal story. In this variant version, Victor is going to be expelled, and then he asks for Tony Stark's help because his plan to not be expelled is to create an invention that's so dope that the university's like, okay, well, we're not going to expel you. This is crazy cool, right? He ends up tricking Tony, and he steals Tony Stark's body. Okay, so they mind swipe. So he puts his mind into Tony Stark's body, and he steals his resources, his fame, all that sort of stuff. And he goes on to do Doctor Doom shit in the body of Tony Stark. Tony Stark gets his memory wiped and ends up doing Doctor Doom shit, or rather Iron Man shit, in Latveria. Kind of like Face Off, yeah. Now, look, let's be real. That's fucking crazy, right? Like, that's wild, and I can see already some people are like, I don't like it. I don't know about that. I totally get it, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Chad. Dude, I think they're doing it. I'm just gonna say it. I think they're doing that. Let's go to A. Should we go to the polls and see what you guys think about that? Doom could just cast an illusion spell to masquerade as Tony. He could absolutely do that, but I think there are certain reasons why that might not be enough for what he's actually trying to do. You know, biometrics. Plus, I mean, what if he is literally trying to use... Because here's kind of what I'm thinking, guys. Def not for normies. Dude, fuck the normies, dude. I don't give a shit. I don't get... Okay, anyway, let's relax. Let's relax before we get too hot here. Everybody relax. Let me try to talk you through this. Let me walk you through this. Okay, let me walk you through this. From the perspective as a massive Doctor Doom fan, I want actual Victor. I don't want a Tony Stark variant that becomes Victor. It just doesn't work for me. Like, Tony works because he's this person of privilege that then is yanked out of his privilege and gets to face the consequences that he was imposing on others in real time, and it changes him. And he's obviously like he's got a checkered past. He's conflicted and morally obtuse a little bit, you know. But that's like Tony. He has to come from that privilege and feel like he's superior in every way, and then have that reality be the sort of anchor of his character. Doom does not come from privilege. Doom comes from the opposite. Doom comes from persecution. Doom comes from the perspective and why he freed Latveria and made it into the sort of like, it's an authoritarian utopia for all intents and purposes. People in Latveria love Doctor Doom. They're very happy to give up their freedom to Doctor Doom because their lives are dope. So I don't like the idea of Tony Stark becoming Doctor Doom. It feels like we're skipping actual Doctor Doom, which fucking sucks. I don't want that. Having said that, there's this other problem, whereas if you just do Victor, right? If RDJ, if they do prosthetics, maybe make, I don't even know, like maybe make his brow more pronounced, maybe make his nose a longer one, make him look just slightly different, maybe like reddish brown hair or something, you know. I don't know, like they do something to make him look literally like a different character. I don't really like that either. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like that either. That feels like you're, as a movie fan, as a fan of the MCU, I feel like, why wouldn't you utilize... Ignoring my text? No, Rob, I'm just bad at communication. Rob, let me finish my thought here, and then I'll give you a call. I feel like there's movie magic. Superior Iron Man would be sick. So, God damn it, Chad. I'm all over the place here. My point is, you're missing movie magic, and you're missing the leverage of what RDJ represents and what Tony Stark represents to people within the multiverse. If you have RDJ play a completely different character, totally separate, Doom, you're leaving a lot of oomph on the table, right? Like, we've all talked about this. We talked about evil Iron Man. We talked about how crazy that would be for some of the characters. You know what I was thinking about yesterday, dude? Is like, even the whole world of Marvel, you know, President Ross, everybody, dude, everybody within Marvel would be happy that Tony Stark was back. If Tony Stark just popped back, like, let's say it wasn't Victor, like, take the Doctor Doom shit out of your mind for a second. If RDJ just pops up as Tony, the government's going to be excited. Stark, Pepper would be excited. Stark Enterprises would be excited. The government would be excited. Villains might even be excited. I don't know. It would be crazy, right? Everybody would embrace that, right? So it feels like a waste to not use that in the movie. And I think the way you get there is with him maybe taking over the body of Tony. And what if it's like Victor in the multiverse and he recognizes what the body of Tony Stark could unlock throughout the multiverse? We're not just talking about one universe. We're talking throughout the multiverse. I mean, if Tony's wealthy in, let's say, 70% of the universe is in the multiverse, then just walking in, like they do this with the Maker and Reed, where, like, bro, the Maker, before Ultimate Invasion, the Maker just shows up to the Baxter building. All of its security just thinks he's Reed. He walks right past everything that's in there. You see what I'm saying? And it's fucking cool, man. So with the body of Tony Stark, it unlocks a lot of doors. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I think, especially, and this is the last thing I'll say here, and then I'll try to get Rob on the call. Okay. Remember this. It feels like a story the Russos had. They cooked in the Infinity Saga. Those are their toys. That's their sandbox. So they likely cooked up a Secret Wars with those toys. Robert and Iron Man is the heart of the MCU. He's the soul of it. The whole thing worked because of him. And it feels like it would be very natural for the Russos to take that story thread and twist it for Secret Wars. A Doctor Doom inside of an Iron Man body. It feels doomish in how it feels like desecrating something sacred and holy. And it would be mad interesting that, like, the guy that saved the Marvel Universe is now in some way going to be the one that, like, tries to destroy it all and shit like that. So if it's a story the Russos had, it's likely that they were cooking with that element specifically. The other thing, too, is Victor, I'm calling him Victor. Robert Downey Jr. wanted this, guys. Whatever it was, whatever the pitch was, bro, if Robert wasn't interested in this, if Robert didn't think he could have a fucking blast, he would not be doing this. So RDJ looked at this and was like, you're fucking cooking, dude. Yeah, Russos. You're cooking. So I am down. So, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on it, guys. Let me see if I can get Rob in a call. Let me try to get that into a call. And here's the thing, though. I need to turn this TTS off. Otherwise, I can't have Rob on the call with TTS and the alert box. I'm sorry, guys. I'll figure it out before or later and before. How about some soupies? Yeah, we'll catch up on soupies. I want to get Rob in here, though. We'll catch up on soupies. Where's my TTS? Gone. Gone, bud. I'm sorry. All right, let me try to call Rob and see what he says. Oh, he says, 1 sec, making coffee. Okay, no worries, no worries. Let me catch up on some soupies then. Let me catch you up on something. Let's start with this $100 big boy over here. Wait, what? Where does it at? Where is it at? Claytonium says with a 20 spot. That's very generous, bro. Thank you. Says, if Dr. Doom could take over people's bodies, could this be an Iron Man takeover? And this is just a tease of Doom. And after Secret Wars, they'll start a new universe. We'll get a new actor to show Doom's true form. I mean, yes. And you could get Doom's true form in Secret Wars. I mean, if the Tony Stark variant, it would be fascinating, right? If Tony... okay, so let's say they do the mind swap. If that Tony is in a Doctor Doom body, and we see a Tony Stark in a Doctor Doom body with the Avengers, like that's kind of fucking hype, dude. I would like that. And then maybe like through Secret Wars, he gets put back into his regular body, and then he's RDJ Iron Man. You know, it could also be because look, a lot of the scoopers are saying Tony Stark Iron Man and Tony Stark. Tony's RDJ Iron Man and RDJ Doctor Doom are going to have scenes together. They're going to have scenes together. That's some scoopers are saying that. So maybe Tony's in a different body. We'll see. Ari says, LOL, are they going to relaunch Hydra with the Serpent Society? God, I hope not, bro. Who's this guy that wants to meet you? What the fuck? John Cross says, Cap in Feb, Thunderbolts in May, Fantastic Four in July. They got to be hiding a fourth movie or have Spider-Man in the back half of 2025. I think Spider-Man is probably a 2025er now. Josh High says, yo, Papa Josh, I took the fam to see Deadpool and Wolverine on Saturday. Pure awesomeness. We had so much fun. I can't wait to see it again. No Avengers for lies. Did the Blob have a cameo in Deadpool 3? He actually did, dude. Blob looked great. The Zuko says, congrats on 2K. Not gonna lie, God damn it, dude. The brain. Robert Downey Jr. as Doom feels pretty desperate. It better be amazing, or they'll bury the MCU. That Hot D finale gonna be fire. Yeah, Hot D was great last night. I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about it because it's just like Robert Downey Jr. Doom just sucked the air out of it. Robert Downey Jr. Doom basically came in, took all the dragons, and bitch slapped all the Targaryens. But yeah, no, I hear you. And I think for some people, it is crazy and it feels desperate and it feels just way too weird. Yeah. And I think it's Marvel's job to convince you that it's well thought out, it's worth your time, and it's going to be interesting. I think for me, I'm a little bit more excited about it than I initially was. And there's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of fun, nerdy speculation. I think my favorite thing is speculating about this kind of stuff, and we have no idea what they're cooking up, but I am certainly excited to be kind of trying to figure out how it could work. So Steve J says, Josh, do you think RDJ could also play the new T'Challa, Tropic Thunder style? LOLs. Yeah, sure, why not? David says, seeing the Fantastic Four, I actually feel less concerned. A Pedro does well as 1960s Brainiac. Yeah, no, I actually was a little impressed with what we saw there, too. And the chemistry in the cast seems really good. So, yeah, we're going to give him a shot, man. Come on, Pedro. Come on, Pedro. Marvel official account is calling RDJ Victor Von Doom, just like the Russos called him. Yeah, they're definitely saying that, brother. They are definitely saying that. Marvel might have rejected it before Majors was fired. It's true. Orphaned Stark child. Parents died earlier. Could be. Don't think they're bringing RDJ as just Victor Von Doom. This has to be a way to also bring back Tony as well. Just a thought. Much love. Yeah, I think Tony's coming back 100%. And I think, I said this in my video as well, but like, if you're Robert, right, you're looking at this, and no matter what they pitch, no matter how they try to cook it up, you probably look at returning as Tony as a footnote. You're just like, dude, there's no way it's anything other than a footnote. But coming back as Doctor Doom? Now that is pithy. That's something you could chew on, dude. Like, that's, as an actor, I'm sure, that's really interesting. And especially if it's more complicated than that, like we've been saying, mind stuff. Whew, like that's kind of cool. Tony Stark's parents could end up in Latveria somehow. Switched at birth. Tony's variant is raised as Victor. Doesn't matter what happened to the actual Doom variant if it's a side universe. Yeah, something like that could work. Shelf Present says Tony not actually a Stark in comics. He's adopted. Very convoluted. He's a Von Doom. He fails at stopping Thanos, loses everything, becomes Doom. Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's like, dude, you guys are already cooking some really interesting stuff. We'll see what they come up with. There's a lot of possibilities. No way they're doing the Mandarin again. Oh, maybe. I don't know. And let me see here. You know what's crazy? That $100 super chat doesn't even pop up over here for me. What the hell's happening here? I gotta refresh this or something here. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give Rob a call. Let us give Rob a call.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, what up?
Not much, man. I see how it is. They're doing San Diego Comic-Con, and I get freaking left hanging, and then you start ignoring my text messages, and yeah.
Yeah, dude, everybody's ganging up on Rob. We're all in a group text, me and Feige and everybody.
We should do, man. We should get Mastertainment on here at some point.
We should. We should. I like
amazing.
MT. He's got some interesting theories. Look, dude, sometimes I think MT goes too crazy. Like he reaches a little bit too much with his theories. But then my chat basically told me, they're like, bro, that's you. Like you do that. So I was like, oh.
Oh, you 100%. Dude, everybody does that. Every fan does that. They're like, so what if it turned out that Tony Stark is Dr. Doom is actually a version of Tony Stark that was taken over by the Ultron AI and then named himself Dr. Doom? Like, dude, we come up with the most off-the-wall theories.
I like that, actually.
Dude,
that's pretty good.
That'd be dope as hell. Yeah, okay, so like,
dope.
and an off-the-cuff comment, I successfully predicted the future.
Yeah, dude. Well, look, dude, your video, to get into your theory, because I wonder, look, you're probably like me, you're having a lot of different thoughts about how this could go, right? But I watched your video. I was driving down to Pittsburgh. I put your video on. I loved it, man. I thought, not only is that story really cool, but I thought it was interesting the way you were thinking, like, yeah, that could happen, but then the villain wins, and kind of that. So what do you think? Do you still kind of think that's probably the way they'll go with it? Have you sort of shifted? Like, what are you thinking about with regards to this announcement?
I mean, one of the things people tend to forget when it comes to Dr. Doom is you never see his face. So I think that with them just like having Robert Downey Jr. come out and say like, I'm Dr. Doom, that was showcasing. Okay. Right? Like it was them just saying Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. It's true, right? And it's building up hype because of the return of RDJ. Because I don't care what anybody says. All right, look, guys, everybody watching this, you don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to say like, we really need RDJ to come back, and then turn around and say, but I don't like the way they brought him back. No. Robert Downey Jr.'s back, and you get Dr. Doom.
Yep,
it's true. Time to stop looking for reasons to complain, right? Like, it's time to just be happy and to celebrate.
Look, I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating.
And Josh, my ass. Dude, I saw your tweets yesterday. You were like looking for reasons to be angry about like Robert Downey Jr. coming back.
No. I'm actually really excited. I'm just a bit confused as to how it'll happen, and I'm a little conflicted.
All right. You know what? You know what? I'm pulling tweets, bro. I'm pulling receipts.
What? Dude, I swear
I'm just messing around.
I was gonna say, I don't think there's any receipts. I was very positive.
No. You're good.
I lost my mind. I mean, for me, just doing Doom in general is like, let's fucking go. Because I love Dr. Doom, and there's going to be, more of an emphasis on Dr. Doom. He's taking over Marvel Comics next year. He's the villain of Marvel Rivals, which, dude, you initially talked some shit on Marvel Rivals. It's really good. You should play it with me. But
okay, dude, I'm not gonna play a poor man's Overwatch. If I want to play Overwatch, I'm gonna go play Overwatch.
See what I mean? You see what I mean, Chad? Yeah. This was what he was saying before. But dude, I'll tell you, it's really good. You should give it a shot. But point being, I saw the Doom thing before I saw the RDJ thing, right? Because that's how they announced it. I was already
Yeah.
on cloud nine. Then they throw RDJ in there. It's one of the most iconic, like that whole thing was nuts. It blew up. Everybody's talking about it. I love it, but I am a little confused. You know what I mean? Like, and I think, I mean, that's part of the fun though, is like, what are they cooking exactly? Because dude, this is like, I don't think you could have done something bigger in the sense of like, the reach was crazy. Everybody's talking about it. Like, I bet even ESPN is going to talk about it. Like literally, like it's one of the craziest, biggest things. It takes RDJ coming back and like melds it with Doctor Doom, and it's like the most crazy hyped up thing ever. So I'm super excited. I'm excited to speculate about it. I am confused though. There is a part of me, Rob, that just wants Victor and wants just, you know, actual Doom.
Well, you're getting Victor and you're getting Doctor Doom.
Okay, hit me. Talk me through this. What do you mean?
Okay. See, I think this is where people cannot see the forest for the trees. And I don't say that as an insult. I think people are getting caught up in the idea that it's RDJ. Right? Like it's like sitting down and saying, well, Chris Evans has only ever been Johnny Storm and I can't see him as anything but that. No. He locked that Captain America role down pretty well. Now you're talking about two completely different universes. You're talking about two totally different eras of filmmaking. But I wouldn't go as far as to say that Marvel shot themselves in the foot with the idea of what they were doing by showing people it was Robert Downey Jr. You'll never hear me admit this outside of this stream.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Them revealing that it was Robert Downey Jr. was 100% in active desperation. Like it was 100% them just like trying to drive and drum interest back up. Because they could have easily just had like Doctor Doom walk out there on the stage.
That's true. Yeah.
Without ever showing who he was.
Yeah.
Right. That's 100% they could have done that. Because honestly, outside of what was it? Oh my God. It was outside of originally Bendis blew the reveal in Iron Man. Do you remember when Marvel did when they first launched all different Marvel after Secret Wars? Yeah. And like, but it was Marvel had so many delays that in Invincible Iron Man or whatever it was by Brian Michael Bendis, that first issue came out
before the end of Secret Wars
finished.
Right.
Yeah. So by the time you get to the end of Secret Wars, you already have the reveal that like Doctor Doom is alive and that Doctor Doom gets his face fixed. Yeah. But outside of like a few different instances, like you could probably count the number on one hand, I would argue, in Marvel Comics, you never see the face of Doctor Doom. So there was really no need for them to show the face of Doctor Doom. Because his face doesn't matter. It's the personality.
Dude, that is his face, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
man. It is his face. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, it's synonymous with Doctor Doom. So they easily could have just been like, Doctor Doom's here, guys, and that would have drummed up a whole bunch of interest. I agree. But marketing, like, but having like having Robert Downey Jr., you know, be revealed as the one playing Doctor Doom. I mean,
that's a pop.
100%.
That's a pop.
I mean, it's a pop, right? The face goes nuts. People don't know how to react.
It's like a wrestling thing, and I agree with you. Like, I don't know if I would say desperation, but I would say this: they were desperate to turn the conversation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they wanted to get away from this. Like, oh well, I guess like, you know, Kang, and I guess they're gonna recast, and like, I guess it'll be like they wanted to end all of that and just be like, no, like Doom, start getting excited about that. And by the way, RDJ's back, and you're just like, what? They wanted you to just be shocked, to be thinking about all of that and not thinking about the past 4 years and not thinking about Kang and shit like that. So yeah, it's a promo, and that's the thing though. That's like The Rock and Cena going at it again. Like that would just be like, it's very, very big. Yeah, I agree. It was for pop, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Sean J808 wants my attention so bad. So Sean J808, what's up, bro?
What's up, Sean?
So like he's just been trolling a bunch of troll comments to try to get my attention.
I know that. But that's like all my fans.
So Sean, what's up, man? You have my attention now. I guess that matters. But yeah, I was watching John Campia's stream yesterday. Yeah. And he made a really, really good point where he was talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe multiverse saga has just kind of been in this disheveled, disorganized place for like quite some time.
Totally.
And it's true, right? Like it's really, really true. And like Deadpool kind of hit the nail on the head. And so I think them coming out and just being like, Robert Downey Jr. is playing, Doctor Doom. It was, again, it was unnecessary, but it was a way to kind of return all that hype and excitement and kind of get the hype train going back for the MCU. That being said, the reason why I say people have a hard time seeing the forest for the trees is because you can have multiple actors playing different roles.
I agree.
At the same time.
Yep.
Right. That's not impossible. It's not completely and totally outside the realm of possibility. And again, we don't know the full extent of what's going on with Tony Stark's, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom.
Right.
We don't know if he's like a Tony Stark variant. I mean, somebody in your chat earlier was just like, what if it was like the Tony Stark from the Illuminati universe that we just never saw?
Yep, 100%.
Right,
that crossed my mind for sure. Yep.
Yeah, like what if it's that guy? Right now, I don't know exactly how you square that circle, but again, there are any number of roads that you can take where you can switch characters up. Right. Or maybe it really is just one of those things where Robert Downey Jr. is playing playing Doctor Doom. And we don't know how far reaching this goes. Yeah. Right. Like, are we talking about some scenario where like he's playing Doctor Doom just long enough until Secret Wars and they kill his character off? Because I still say that Marvel is going to like Crisis on Infinite Earths, the multiverse. Right. They're going to destroy the multiverse. They're going to condense it down to one single timeline. And then the heroes that they want to keep going forward. Right. So like Pedro Pascal's, Reed Richards and so on and so forth. Those guys are going to quote unquote survive. Yep. And then everybody else gets wiped and they basically just reset from there. Yep. Now, again, how you do that, I don't entirely know. And there's any number of like narrative ways to make it work. But we don't know how far reaching it goes. Yep. And honestly, it would be kind of intriguing because I would be curious to see, and we'll never know, right? But I'd be curious to see, had they not done a reveal of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, and he had just gone forward into, Avengers Doomsday, and we never saw his face, and they used, of course, voice modulation and whatnot to make it sound like Doctor Doom, but we were never told that it was Robert Downey Jr. Would people know? Would it matter? Like, would it matter at all? Would it have any relevance whatsoever? But I think that a lot of people are taking the idea that Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man died in the multiverse, in Avengers Endgame in order to save existence. And now they're bringing him back and they're seeing it as kind of a cheap ploy. But that's my coffee machine, by the way. So we'll go off here.
What you making?
I just made myself a regular coffee, but this thing can do anything, man. Yeah. Dude, it can make like blondes. It can make like coffees whose names I can't pronounce. Yeah. Right. It could do espresso, everything. It's
dude, I've got a Nespresso machine. You ever have a Nespresso?
Dude, those are nice, man. I went into one of those stores when I was in New York a while back.
Dude, I literally have like 2 or 3 of these every day, bro. I love these fucking things. It's a little pricey, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I live off coffees, man. Like I don't know how to function without them.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? There's so many possibilities here because they're saying that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Victor Von Doom. Right. But who's to say that Victor Von Doom has always been Victor Von Doom? Right. Right? Like, I mean, who's to say that it's not some kind of body swap thing or something along those lines? And a lot of people, and this is where I think that people are crafting arguments in order to justify why it's a bad idea. Because I think people will come along and they will say, well, that would just be too confusing for the audience. Would it? Because the audience was able to follow time travel shenanigans pretty well. Yeah. In Avengers Endgame, and it was written and done in a way that made perfect sense. So it's not as though the Marvel Cinematic Universe is incapable of pulling off some stunt like this and having it function in a way that makes sense, right? Like that's easily done, right? So that argument's a non-starter. So there's, again, I'm not really too upset about Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. I'm more excited about the fact that we're getting Doctor Doom. Sure, now, my only real concern with Doom is because of all the hype surrounding it and because of the desire to move past the multiverse saga as fast as humanly possible, they're going to rush it. Right? They're going to be like, and then the Kings are gone, and here's Fantastic Four, Doom, let's go. Right? You're right. Like, that's going to be it. Yep. So yeah, I'm afraid they're going to rush it. And I'm not one of those guys who's like, Doctor Doom needs to be introduced in a way that makes sense. No, I've said it here and I've said it multiple times. If they introduced him in a post-credit scene, people are going to jump out of their seats, right? That argument doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, like I'm excited. Like I'm really curious to see Yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes.
Well, let me just.
It's a great time to be an MCU fan.
It is. It's an incredible time to be, and it's an incredible time to be a Doctor Doom fan because again, he's taken over Marvel Comics. You know, he's going to be all over, and that synergy feels really nice, right? But let's go back to a couple things you said there because I want to talk about, rushing it, and I want to talk about that because it's kind of interesting. Like he will be in the Fantastic Four movie. I think the Hollywood Reporter revealed that. So like in this new one that's filming tomorrow. RDJ as Doom is involved in some way in that, right? And there's questions. What other movies could he be involved with? Are they going to put him into Shang-Chi 2 now? Doctor Strange 3? Is that, going to be, are they going to cook that up before Doomsday? Because I think they need to sprinkle a little Doom in. But even before we get to that, man, I was so curious. I really liked that video you did. And I know for me personally, there have been a lot of different versions of Doom, right? I think in Earth X, it's Reed, right? And Reed becomes Doom.
Yeah. In Earth X, it's Reed. There's another alternate reality story where Reed Richards becomes Dr. Doom, puts like the Infinity Stones in his eyes.
Yeah, that was in a Timeless. Yeah, that was
Timeless.
Timeless. That was a Kang story.
Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so cool.
Dude, totally. And like, so my mind goes to those. There's a lot of different versions of Doom. Like I loved the multiverse Masters of Evil version where like he takes Valeria's skin and makes his armor out of that, and he's like the twisted, like the darkest version. But that's Victor, right? It's a Victor.
Yeah.
Are there any other versions of Doom that you really like that you would want to see them pull from? Anything else you can think of?
Oh, yeah. I want to say there's I don't remember the details of it, but I want to say there's an exile story where Tony, I don't remember but basically like Tony Stark is Doctor Doom or like adopts the moniker of Doctor Doom or something along those lines. There's the most recent story where Galactus goes nuts and starts killing like everybody.
Yeah, at the end of time, Doom. Yeah.
And then like Doctor Doom like faces off against Galactus and the
that shit's so cool.
Yeah. There's Ultimate Doom, which I don't know how I feel about the idea of Doctor Doom in the MCU having horse hose for feet.
Yeah, the original he was pretty wild. I kind of dug him a little bit, but it did get weird with the goat legs. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. I want to say they got rid of him and they were like, actually, that was not the real Doctor Doom. And like every Marvel fan was like, I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not.
But the new Ultimate Doom is also Reed. And
it's okay. We don't know his story though. We know it is Reed, but we don't know how far reaching that story goes.
Correct. I think Denise Camp, the writer, said issue 4. You're gonna get the backstory on that. So.
Yeah. We get like the tell-all that kind of fills in the gaps between what Hickman originally started and like where we are now.
Doom 2099, bro. Dude, Doom 2099 is really cool.
Well, there's also Books of Doom. And the funny thing about Books of Doom is by the end of it, I don't think they solidify whether it's a Doombot or Doctor Doom himself.
Right.
Like, I don't think they answer that question. But there's, and that one is the main Marvel Universe Doom. It's just him telling a story.
Yeah, great, incredible run.
Yeah. But no, there's all kinds of Doctor Dooms. And I'm sure there's more. I mean, there's okay, so there is a Council of Reed's versions of Doctor Doom, but those versions of Doom are all lobotomized. There is the really cool moment from that story, though, and this is what I'm hoping they adapt, right? Because you were talking about the idea of the Fantastic Four and how Doctor Doom is involved in the Fantastic Four. I still say it's going to be a post-credit scene, I still say that I say that what they should do, and I don't know if they will do this, and I want to talk to Campy about this more than anything. Like, I want to sit down with him and grab drinks and talk to him about this one day. I still say that what they need to do is they need to go into the Fantastic Four movie, do that movie however they do it, and ideally, over the course of the film, the Fantastic Four, on their own, without any secondary involvement from any other characters, figure out what's going on with the Council of Kangs, right? Which shows how smart the Fantastic Four are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it shows how intelligent they are. And then what ends up happening is, at the end of the movie, they're captured by the Kangs, and then there's basically a rescue mission. And I feel like I mentioned this here before, but I don't remember if I did or not. But there's basically a rescue mission from like the TVA. And it seems like, from our perspective, it seems like the Time Variance Authority is like launching an attack against the Kangs. And it's like, okay, cool. So that's how Marvel's getting rid of the Council of Kangs.
Right.
TVA makes their move, takes them all out. That's it. And it turns out like, or maybe you could use Deadpool and Wolverine if you wanted to. But like, it turns out it's a mission to like sneak in, get them, and get out. because like what's actually happening out there is a war, or like basically Doctor Doom, Robert Downey Jr., leading his army of Doombots and wiping out all the Kangs in the Kang Dynasty. And then like that's like his post-credit debut, right? And then what you would do is you would borrow that scene from Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four after the whole Franklin Richards thing, where Valeria tells Doom about the Council of Reeds and like all the Dooms that are sitting down below in the Citadel, and they're all lobotomized and everything. Dr. Doom goes there and he sits down on this chair and he's like, "Here I can build." And like, I hope they would do that, right? You get the post-credit scene. Robert Downey Jr. sits down on the chair that would presumably belong to like Immortus, right? The main Kang, and he's like, "I can build here." And then you just cut to black, and it's like, holy shit! Like Doctor Doom is like building out with an army of Doombots. That would be amazing, because you could really build up how dangerous of a threat Doom is, because you have like these other instances, right, where they're facing off against Doom, but like we learn they're Doombots. And so while you have superheroes who are struggling against Doombots, then it's just like, holy shit, like what's going to happen when they have to actually fight Doctor Doom?
Yeah.
Like,
yo,
because the overall gist is like,
can I throw something crazy at you, Rob?
What?
Just totally random, just popped into my head, dude. So you saw Deadpool and Wolverine, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the anchor beings, right? A lot of people believe, and it's been said, but like some of the scoopers and the insiders, that RDJ was the anchor being of the sacred timeline. So after he dies, essentially, like the universe is withering, right? So what if Doom realizes that the sacred timeline is maybe the prime universe, and that all things kind of branch off of it? So like it's the most important thing. And what if he steals the body of the anchor being intentionally just for that purpose, to be able to keep that timeline alive and like manipulate it?
That would be cool. I mean, there are a couple things that stand out to me about that possibility, but I mean, I think that'd be cool. Like
that
Doctor
would
Doom
be
steals
crazy.
the body of Tony Stark, like the anchor being. That would be
because it would explain why he needs the body.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It would, but so here's a couple things. Number one, and this is something that people pointed out on Twitter that I had actually forgotten was mentioned in Deadpool and Wolverine. Mr. Paradox said it can take thousands of years for a universe to unravel.
Yep.
Right. And as things were progressing in Deadpool, it was basically being fast tracked.
Dude.
My only concern with that was, if that's true,
this might be true, Rob,
then surely they would have like mentioned that somewhere along the line, that like
26 minutes ago, Kevin said that Iron Man is the anchor being of the MCU.
Sorry, is Iron Man the anchor being
that's
of
what
the
I
Marvel
thought.
Cinematic Universe, which anchor being is a concept introduced?
I mean, like I said, the only
the fact that you even asked that
the only
makes
real
me
off
very
the
happy.
cuff counter
And
I can think that, and it's not really a counter. It's a more like, okay, that's possible, but you know, like you would think that if he was the anchor being, that paradox, that like there would have been some indication that like the main Marvel universe was unraveling in some capacity.
Sure.
But there's nothing to say that. Now, this could just simply be one of those instances where anchor beings in a universe unraveling when they die didn't become a thing until just now. And so, like, there was no reason to reference it before because nobody had thought of it.
Well, it also takes thousands of years,
right?
right? So in canon, you could just explain it that, like, so Iron Man dies in, what, 2025 in the MCU? We're not that far past that. We're only a couple of years past that. But the TV yet, because even Deadpool's universe, after Logan dies, it would have taken thousands of years before then the universe unravels and then all of its time is destroyed, right?
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if that were the case, and if Iron Man was the anchor being, then you would think there would have been a line in Deadpool and Wolverine where Paradox would have said it can take thousands of years for a universe to unravel. A good example is Earth 616, which is unraveling because Iron Man died.
Yeah,
and
that
so
would
like
have been
like you'd think that statement would have been made, but that statement was never made. There was nothing to indicate that's the case with Earth 616. So because of that, I mean, you know, again, like maybe just nobody thought of that. I mean, I don't know. Like I have a tendency to sit down and think of small things to tie things together.
Sure,
right?
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's some people are kind of yapping about it right now online, and I was like, dude, yeah, that could make sense, because otherwise, like, because you think about, like, why would he need Robert's body or you know, Tony's body if that's the way they're doing it, right? Well, like you've explained in that one story, it was just for his resources, right? But if this is on the multiversal scale, like sure, I could see Doom potentially needing cachet of Stark tech from throughout the multiverse, but you know, you would feel like he would have almost anything he would need at that point. Maybe it is something specific to the sort of cosmic nature of things. And the other thing that would make that really weird, dude, is it could actually be RDJ's body, bro. Like that could actually be the body of our favorite hero that snapped and saved everybody. You know what I mean? Like that adds a little extra oomph to it where you're like, bro, Doom is literally parading around in the body of our exact RDJ Iron Man.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's entirely possible, but like I think it's also important to acknowledge here that like it could just be a lot simpler than that.
It absolutely could.
It could just be that like Robert Downey Jr. is just playing a Victor Von Doom, and like that's it. In the same way that what's her name is playing Maria Rambeau, who is binary at the end of Marvels, whereas in the main Marvel universe it's Carol Danvers, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just the same guy playing two different roles, and it's
absolutely
just as simple
could
as
be that. Yeah,
that's entirely possible. Honestly, I mean, I definitely love the idea of theory crafting it because it makes it more fun, right? Like it makes it more interesting instead of just being like, no, he's just like another dude over there.
I mean, but it could
like,
just
okay,
be
well,
that. Look, and also if that dude is just Doom, then that's good enough. Because that dude, trust me, like you don't really need anything fancier than Doom. Doom is fucking amazing, and they can do all sorts of cool stuff with him. But okay, so anyway, sorry I got off track there, but I want to talk to you about this rushing it thing. Okay, so let's just assume, Rob, this is a last minute thing. The Russos were like, well, we have this crazy fucking idea. For a long time, Kevin was like, no, it's too crazy. RDJ is Doom. It's too crazy, Russo bros. And then all of a sudden he's looking at phase 4 and he's like, okay, let's do it. They now have to shift completely, right? How do they do this? How do they sprinkle Doom in and begin to set up the payoff that's coming in the next Avengers movies? How would you do it?
I mean, I just told you at the end of Fantastic Four, you have Dr. Doom step in, kill all the Council of Kang members in a post-credit scene, and then he seizes control, and he's like, you know, like, here I can build. And then, and then it's just like little small things. I mean, the big question here would be this: what would be the point, right? If Dr. Doom goes in and kills all the members of the Council of Kangs, right? From a comic book movie, right, like narrative side, yeah, it makes sense because, you know, they're moving away from Kang the Conqueror, getting rid of him, right? And now Dr. Doom is going to take his place. Okay, cool. In universe, what's the reason? What's the motivation?
Yeah.
Right? Why do that? And is it something as simple as just Dr. Doom wants to seize power, right? It's just Dr. Doom saw his shot, right? I mean, you could do any number of things. You could say that, like, on one of the worlds where the Kangs show up and they obliterate all the superheroes, Dr. Doom's the last man standing. He defeats that Kang, and then through that Kang, he learns about the Council. And then it's just like, let's go kill some folks and seize control of the multiverse. Like, is it just that simple?
Yep.
Because in the comics it is, right? Up until Triumph and Torment, Dr. Doom's entire motivation for gaining incredible levels of power was to defeat Mephisto to free his mother's soul.
Sure. Yep.
And then after Triumph and Torment, it's just Dr. Doom's a dick. So like that's why he does what he does. Like that's it, right? That's all you get. Right?
He views there's a little bit of like the golden path from Dune that they give him in Doom Wars, right? Where like he sees the future and he's like, humanity's best future is with me ruling them. So there's a little bit of like that Paul Atreides, Leto the second kind of energy there. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I think Doom has evolved as a character, and some of that is editorial. Like I think Marvel, especially in the last like 5 to 8 years, has pretty much since Secret Wars actually has taken Doom in a more interesting direction. But yeah, I mean his more classical thing is just he wants to rule the world. He's just a dick, you know, he has diplomatic immunity, like all kinds of stuff like that. But I've been really interested in how they've kind of built him up in the last like 8 years as not always super villainous. Like he kind of picks his spots. You know, like he'll be there and he's ready, and you're not gonna fuck with Latveria. Like nobody fucks with Latveria, but it's not it's not like he's necessarily always trying to take over the world. He kind of picks his spots, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories. I mean, and that's the thing. There's a lot of stories that show that. There's a lot of stories that show his petty side, right? In Christopher Cantwell's run, he goes to an alternate reality and blows that universe up, because he meets a version of himself who's basically a philanthropist. And he's like, Doom would never do something so trivial and stupid, right? And so just because he was offended, he obliterated the entire universe. So, I mean, like, he's definitely got his weird, petty sides. But again, that I think is the answer to the question of how things will play out with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. I mean, what's the end goal here? If the end goal of Marvel is to reboot, then Avengers Doomsday is going to be Marvel's way of getting rid of the Kangs, replacing the Kangs with Doctor Doom and his Doombots, which is, by all standards of measurement, going to serve the same purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Like, whatever the motivation of the Kang dynasty was, is now the motivation of Doctor Doom.
Correct.
And probably to, like, seize control of the multiverse, right? Doomsday is going to be a kind of coming together of all the different superheroes. And then I think Secret Wars is going to lead to, it's going to deal with the whole incursion element. Because remember, the incursions are happening out there.
Yep.
But Marvel has just done a terrible job of explaining how incursions work in any real meaningful way.
Yeah.
And how far-reaching it is.
Yeah, and they haven't used it as like a ticking time bomb. It has none of the narrative beef that it had in Hickman's thing. You know, it kind of amounts to just one of many ways in which these universes are being destroyed. I do think, though, that Doc Strange 3 could do some heavy lifting because Black Priests are supposed to be in it. You know, so they're doing that. Maybe they do a Rabama Law with Doom or something. But yeah, I think the sort of collapsing of the multiverse and Doom, and I do remember some people were saying that some of the elements of Avengers Forever, like the newer one with like the multiversal masters of evil and some of the Jason Aaron Avengers stuff, I do remember people saying some of that's being adapted as well. So maybe you would just hear of like the Cabal or like the multiversal masters of evil out there. Maybe it's referenced in Fantastic Four. Maybe it's referenced in Doc Strange 3, and then it's shown in Doomsday or something like that. That could work for me, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I still argue, like, the whole idea behind the incursions is basically just a magnet effect, right? Like a gravity effect. And that's what causes incursions to happen in the MCU. But again, you know, I do agree with you that Doctor Strange, the new one, the Doctor Strange 3, will do a lot of explanation on how incursions work and the significance of them and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's because that's why I say, like, with Doctor Doom, there's so many directions they can go in. Like, one of the cool things that they could do, and this I would actually dig, is if it turns out that Doctor Doom, because do you remember in Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers, after when Reed reconstructed the bridge from Hickman's Fantastic Four, and it allowed him to like look into alternate realities?
Oh yeah, and you see Doom is in some of the Illuminati and
yeah, exactly. And in some of the universes, like Doom is a good guy.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be cool if this is one of those circumstances where, like, in some alternate reality, Doctor Doom was a hero.
Yep.
Like, he was a good guy. And that Doctor Doom was like the last man standing against that version of Kang. And kind of piggybacking off what I mentioned earlier, right? That through that Kang's technology, he learns about like the Council of Kangs and all that kind of stuff, you know, that he's just like, okay, so I'm going to start killing all these killing all these Kangs. And so like he's been traveling the multiverse all this time, killing all these Kang variants. And that led him to becoming a quote unquote villain.
Sure.
Right? Because you mentioned Doom War earlier, and one of the coolest things about the Doom War story is that after he orchestrates the coup d'etat in Wakanda and then sneaks into the Great Mound where all the vibranium is, that he meets with what he has to go through, like all these different steps. So he has to like unlock the door and like all these different tests that like the Black Panthers before T'Challa put in place to keep it all protected.
Yep.
And there's one point where he finally meets with the Panther goddess Bast, and like that's the great test.
Yep.
Right, where Bast is like, if you fail this test, I will kill you. And there'll be nothing Doctor Doom can do to stop her, right? Like she's powerful enough to pull it off. And so Doctor Doom like takes, like strips naked and everything in order to show how humble he is. And then to the point that you made earlier, right? When Bast is just like, why should I help you? Then Doctor Doom shows her his vision for the world, which is I alone can make the world better. Yep. And that's like the arrogance and hubris of Doctor Doom. And it's not that hard to roll that arrogance and hubris over into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And the multiverse.
And Doctor Doom and the multiverse, And Doctor Doom adopts this mentality that I and I alone am the only person capable of saving all of reality.
Yep.
Or like all of existence, the multiverse. And so he just starts hunting down all these Kangs. And in the process, he just becomes a quote unquote villain, as you and I would describe him. But as you know, Robert Downey Jr. said, he loves playing complicated characters. And what would make Doctor Doom more of a complicated character than to say he started out as a good guy, did whatever he needed to do in order to save the multiverse, and then became a bad guy in the traditional sense. But he is more of an anti-hero than anything else.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, well, I think
that's a very complex narrative.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's one of the reasons why Hickman's Secret Wars is so juicy, because, you know, Doom is not really in a lot of like the lead up, but the way he kind of enters the story towards the end of it, you realize that he's known the whole time, and like the story kind of sets it up where you're like, dude, I don't know if anybody but Doctor Doom could have saved us, and he, by all accounts, does literally save the multiverse. But what's revealed later via Reed is that the multiverse itself would have been better off had Victor actually just worked with Reed. That in some way, this was Victor's way to not just save the multiverse, but establish himself as the god of it. And that is Victor. So I love that. And I love that kind of character thing, because as a Doom fan, you're like, fuck yeah, like Doom gets it done. But then you kind of have to face the reality that his shortcoming and his hubris, his ego and all that prevents, you know, the actual heroic thing, which then takes him past that into like Infamous Iron Man, into some of the other stuff that they're doing. But one of the reasons I really loved your video was because it replaces Reed with Tony. And Hickman's Secret Wars really is about Reed and Victor, right? It like it comes down to that. Yeah. So yeah, I would love something like that with Tony and Victor. And do I feel a little bit bad for Reed? Yeah, like that would kind of push him out of there. But dude, if they could find that juice and use what you were talking about, and like that's just compelling to me. So like that's why I think I'm leaning towards something like that happening, because it would make it about those two characters. And if, as a MCU fan, I mean, Tony's like the beginning, and then maybe Doom's like the sort of end or the antithesis to Tony. That's really compelling. Like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, honestly, that would be fantastic. Like, I would love that if the whole thing kind of boiled down to a rivalry between Doom and Tony.
Yeah.
Again, I think a lot of what's happening with RDJ as Doctor Doom, I think Doctor Doom is a means to an end. I think that this version of Doctor Doom that we're seeing is done for the sole purpose of fast-tracking the end of the multiverse saga, wiping out the multiverse, probably killing Loki, right? And then from a spark of life or whatever, right? Like the new universe is born, and those surviving heroes make it in. Yep. And that's it. Now, my question is, like, is Doctor Doom going to fall on his sword at the end of all this, right? And like sacrifice himself to save everything? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out.
Yeah,
but,
that's a good question.
I think that as cool as that idea is, that you have like a Doctor Doom and Stark rivalry, I think traditional comic book fans of Doctor Doom would be a little pissy, and rightfully so, because they see Doctor Doom as the antithesis to Reed,
right? And
he always has been, right? Like ever since they first met in college in Marvel Comics, they have basically been rivals. But there is also a kind of back and forth grudging respect, where like Doctor Doom doesn't really like Reed, but he respects Reed.
Yeah.
But sometimes he also likes Reed and he can appreciate Reed. But I mean, to your point, right? Like the ending of Secret Wars, when you finally get to issue number 9 and you have like that whole conversation, right? Really like a fight and conversation between Reed and Doom, where the Molecule Man's watching it all unfold, right? The source of Doctor Doom's power is God and all that kind of stuff, Beyonders and everything. And Reed asks Doom, "You believe that I could have done a better job, don't you?" Yeah. And the response of Doom is yes. And so Molecule Man takes Doom's power, gives it to Reed, and Reed resets the multiverse. Yeah. So like it's that one of the thing that makes that fight so cool is the history between those two guys.
I agree.
Right? It's decades of Doom and Reed being rivals coming to a head in 2015. It was incredible, right? It was an incredible run to be a part of. 2015, 2016. It was
but that's why I like your theory, because it replaces, it's the same thing, and it just replaces Tony. Obviously, it goes way crazier, but like that main flaw. You know what I've always thought about that, Robin? It's funny. I've been actually working on a video essay about Doom, so I've been like knee deep in Doom research. But you know what I've decided, and I kind of think, is that, you know, the reason Doom hates Reed is because he sees Reed as himself if he had a more privileged life, if he didn't have to suffer. That's why he takes the family in Secret Wars. He could do anything. And he takes Reed's family. It's because he sees Reed as like his equal in intelligence, but Reed was gifted from the universe and Doom was like beat down and became the villain. So I think there's this like super palpable jealousy that he has for Reed. I think you could transfer that to Doom if you did it, or to Tony if you did it the right way.
Yeah. I mean, that works. I'm not shooting that down at all. Like, that works. The only concern that I have is that if you build up that relationship where you establish in Doctor Doom's appearances or even in Doomsday that like Doom's rivalry with Tony is like how he became who he was, or it's it's the MCU equivalent of Doom's rivalry with Reed.
Right.
Then when you go into whatever this next landscape happens to be, right, the single universe or whatever, do you keep that going? Or do you go the traditional comic book route and you have Doctor Doom being a rival to Reed Richards? Like, how do you square that circle? And that's why I say, like, there's so much uncharted water here because we're just now getting Reed Richards, the Fantastic Four. Right. So it's not like, you have a long-standing grudge between these two guys that we can kind of build off of. You do have the comic book stuff. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe has stated multiple times, and they've proved it through their actions multiple times, just because the comics are there and have established a status quo does not mean they're going to go with that. And
that's true.
Honestly, as a comic book fan, I kind of like that.
I like it
kind
too.
of dig that. I'm not against it at all. Yeah.
Well, because it just means you and I could think of what it could be based on comics, not know what it's going to be based on comics, and that's fun.
Yeah, 100%. Like in Deadpool and Wolverine, you already did a spoiler stream for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So in Deadpool and Wolverine, right, you have the whole fight between like Pyro and Johnny Storm, where like Pyro takes the powers of Johnny Storm. Like, that's one of those instances where outside of one comic in Marvel, it's never happened.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, okay, cool. Like, and it's one of those questions people ask, like, can Pyro beat Johnny Storm? And it's like, yeah. Like, people don't understand how powerful Pyro is. Like, he's incinerated Gambit's cards before they ever got to him. Like, Gambit throws his cards, and Pyro just incinerates them before they can explode. He almost melted Colossus. Right, he defeated Grey Hulk, or at least fought Grey Hulk to a standstill.
Crazy,
Pyro's incredibly powerful. Like, he's very, very powerful, and he controls one of the fundamental forces of the universe. But outside of that obscure comic, right, Marvel Adventures Spider-Man or whatever it was, you never see the two of them meet or fight anymore. But then you go into Deadpool and Wolverine, and Pyro's just like, nope, and he just takes his power, and like, that's it, right? Just like sucks that fire away from him. And like, that's all there is. So again, there's just because the source material says a thing doesn't mean that it needs to be a thing. And to your point, and I'm curious to see how people would respond to this, I would argue that given the popularity of Tony Stark in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, setting things up as a rivalry between Doom and Stark versus Doom and Reed in the comics would actually bode better for the comic book movie-going audience.
That is exactly my point.
I think you make a good point with that. Like, I think you make a good point with that.
Yeah, because, I mean, and that's kind of like, and maybe originally, right, Marvel Studios was like, no, we want to kind of get away from that, and they're trying with, like, Kang and all this stuff, but I think it's become pretty clear, and you look at Deadpool's success, fans just kind of want the stuff they love, like they just want the stuff they love. You do something significant with Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, you do something significant with RDJ as Tony Stark. I think it's going to play, dude. And I think that you will have people that'll grump about it, but it'll make bajillions of dollars, bro. Like, people love RDJ as Iron Man. And if you can set it up properly and make this really interesting between him and Doom, I think you're setting something up really good. And then, in the post Secret Wars reboot, then you can reestablish Doom and Reed and have that be the way that it is, and like go on to do stuff with them in the future. But yeah, we'll see how they do it,
Yeah, that's why I asked the question. Like, the question is what comes next? Because in the moment, I can see that working. But if what comes after all of this is not even really a hard reboot, but a soft reboot, then how can you expect audiences to make that transition between the Doctor Doom Tony Stark rivalry? Now it's the Doctor Doom Reed Richards rivalry. And how do you do it in a way that makes audiences care? Because again, the name Tony Stark, Iron Man, carries far more weight in the Marvel Cinematic Universe than Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
A lot of that's just because of the fact that, you know, it's Tony Stark.
Yeah. I mean, that...
and like all like the first 10 years of the MCU.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also, I don't know, man. Like I have so many mixed feelings.
Yeah, me too.
About how it all progressed. Here's my question. Yep. Like, how do you? Okay, the Fantastic. Because this is my question to you. The Fantastic Four, Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby and all those characters. Like, do you think that Marvel is going to be able to effectively tell the Fantastic Four or tell stories and give us a quality Fantastic Four while doing it in the midst of all of this reworking and restructuring beyond what we get in an origin film?
Well, yes, but I think that, so there's a couple of things I know about the movie that I think lend itself to doing that. Number one, the movie's kind of split between the 1960s and modern day. And so you're going to kind of jump back and forth between, these are rumors, right? But you're going to kind of jump back and forth between the 1960s, like, oh shit, they're like in the retro, you know, area in the futuristic thing. And then we're going to jump way ahead, and Franklin and Valeria and the Future Foundation is supposed to be a big part of it. Like, there's a rumor that Galactus, at least one of the times in the movie that he comes to Earth, he's literally coming to Earth because of Franklin. Right. So what
I would believe that shit.
Yeah,
I would believe that 100%.
Yeah.
Franklin's powers.
Yeah,
definitely.
No, it's awesome. Right. So like my thing is, I think they're going to really lean into Hickman's like first 6 FF issues, like hard, and then play nostalgia 1960 stuff. So ultimately, like, this is really absent to Victor. Victor's probably not going to be involved at all, but you'll have like Villain of the Week, Galactus, and then like cosmic family adventures with, you know, that real like parenthood / fatherhood thing. Because I mean, one of the things that makes Hickman's first FF stuff so good is it's focused on Reed's relationship with his father, and that becomes the mirror by which he sees that he's repeating the same actions and walks away from the council to be a dad. You know what I mean? And to be a good dad. Good. It's so good. So like, don't fuck with it. Just, you know, play those beats, make it about family, make it about cosmic consequences. And I think the audience would be really endeared to them. And I think Pedro is a dad. I think that's his thing, right? He's now become Mando. He's now become, you know, in that Last of Us show, and now in this, he's a dad. He's daddy. And so he's going to be Marvel's daddy. And if they play that right and he kills it.
Daddy Pedro.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think so. It's going to be different, though. I mean, it's different. You know, it's different than what we've had before, but I think it could work.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about this, because you mentioned the idea, or at least the rumors that say that Galactus shows up to Earth because of Franklin. There's this amazing moment. People are giving us crap in the chat.
I know, right?
Father Pedro. There we go. We'll call him Father Pedro.
Let him be mad.
Yeah, let him be mad. But there was this moment in Hickman's Fantastic Four when during the whole thing where like do you remember the whole story arc? We don't have to go into it, but the whole story arc where like the body of Galactus from an alternate reality like shows up on Earth, from the future shows up on Earth.
Fucking Galactus finds out and he's like, "Yo, bitch, explain this now." Yeah.
The surfer like shows up and he's just like, "My master is coming to see you, Reed, and like you better have some answers to his questions." And like Galactus shows, and it's the coolest moment in the whole story.
Yeah, it is,
because it perfectly encapsulates how important and powerful Galactus is, because he shows up to Earth and he doesn't even like go into some diatribe. He just says, "Explain," and Reed just like spills the beans on everything.
He's like, "Well, you see what happened was."
Yeah. And so there's a point where Galactus is like, okay, so he ends up taking Reed Richards with him to like go to some alternate world that Galactus is going to consume, but to tie into the whole thing about Franklin and like, you know, Reed making the mistakes that his father did, where he doesn't spend time with his family. There's this point where Galactus is talking to Reed and he's just like, "Have you not been paying attention to what your son's been doing?"
Yep.
And it's the first time in Marvel that I'm aware of where Galactus basically reveals that he's afraid of how powerful Franklin is.
Yes.
and it's
And
like
this
your
is baby.
son's
This
powers
is
are waking back up.
yeah. This is the kid version too. It's not even the future
This
version.
is the kid, yeah.
yeah.
It's not even the future. Yeah, and so and that's one of the things people tend to forget, right? Like Kid Franklin Richards was the one that resurrected all the superheroes from the dead
And
then
Heroes
put them
Reborn.
into like and Heroes Reborn, yeah, and put them into a whole new universe that he carried around with him. And like a whole new universe was like a whole new universe, cosmic entities and all, right? So it was crazy what he did. But like, yeah, like it was like Reed, like your son's powers have been woken back up again, right? Like, why are you not noticing this? Right. And so it's a really, really cool moment. So I could easily see that like Franklin Richards is born. Like maybe like, you know, Reed and them like encounter Galactus at some point, you know, and then it's just like, okay, whatever, you know, and then like Franklin's born and like Galactus comes to Earth.
Yep.
And it's just like, I'm going to destroy your world. And it's like, why? It's like, because if that kid grows up, he is going to be way too powerful. And like Franklin's the reason why he wants to obliterate everything. I don't know.
I mean, something like that for sure.
Yeah, something along those lines, right? Like, you know, as opposed to like, this is just the next item in my buffet that I call the universe. Like,
yeah. And I'm
like,
really, dude, to get Galactus and like, I wonder if they'll call him Galen in the movie or not, but like, to get a character like this is so interesting because he comes from a different iteration of the cosmos, right? So he's from, I think, the 7th, right? And then
the 6th.
The 6th. Okay. So he comes from he was just a normal dude. And then like he has all this technology and stuff, and he survives the end of the cosmos and is reborn as Galactus, kind of becoming like entropy, like he is entropy. Like he walks around and just destroys everything. And because we're talking about multiverse universes ending as we get to Secret Wars, it's gonna be really interesting to sort of see what a character like Galactus has to say. Is Franklin like something to help them maybe get out of the universe collapsing or something? Like there could be all sorts of stuff that Big G knows about the multiverse and stuff like that. So yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff they could be cooking.
Yeah, I mean that's why I say things like cascade waves and all that kind of stuff. All that's like real. Like I think they're going to draw on all that stuff going into like Secret Wars, right? Pull all those things in. What I have heard is that Galactus in Fantastic Four is not going to be from the previous universe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, how that plays out, I don't know. You know, because the very nature of Galactus is he's kind of the embodiment of the former universe.
Right.
But what stops him from being as powerful as Eternity is that he's always burning through energy.
Yeah.
Right. That's the reason why during what was it called? Al Ewing's Ultimates, when Black Panther and Blue Marvel and Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers, when they like basically fixed his evolution and turned him into the Lifebringer, that he was like this astronomically powerful being, way more than he's like traditionally been.
Yeah. And to go back to that Doctor Doom one shot that Hickman did earlier this year, that version of Galactus that he fights in there is one that consumed the entire universe. So he's like full and like on it, like the most powerful version of Galactus ever, according to them, that Doom faces off against. But yeah, it'll be cool how they do that. And I guess either way, he's going to end up being from an old universe because of the soft reboot. You would imagine, you know, a new timeline or a new universe. So yeah, they've got a lot of stuff they're cooking in, and it's probably pretty difficult to like keep it all managed. But, you know, this other thing, too, with the Russos coming back, I've heard they might have some control over other movies moving towards the Avengers, which would make sense, you know, because they kind of need setup, right? So maybe Russos get involved with, like, Doc Strange 2, Shang-Chi 2, you know, some other stuff. Like, dude, that Armor Wars movie's still supposed to be a thing, supposedly, maybe. So, you know, maybe there's stuff there with, like, Stark Tech and Doom or something. I don't know. But, yeah, they've got a lot to cook, but I'm excited about what's on the menu.
They do. I am also excited about the Russos coming back. And to your point, yes, I think honestly for a lot of this, I think you're actually going to see some responsibility split between the Russos and Feige, where Feige is going to be like the buck stops here, and Russos are going to be like the planners.
Oh yeah.
Because before the Russos were just kind of like, you know, this movie, that movie, you know, that kind of thing. That was it. Whereas now I think they kind of get the ability, or at least hopefully have the ability to craft this expansive narrative.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So
yeah.
it's like we read over every screenplay that you send.
Exactly.
We see every
yeah.
storyboard you make for these movies, right? And this stays, that goes. And like, and so the movies unfold, but like, because I feel like that's the biggest issue that Phase 4 had in the start of the multiverse saga is there were all kinds of projects going on, but none of them crossed over in any effective and meaningful ways. Like, so a really good example of this, we haven't seen Spider-Man since No Way Home. You don't need to have like a whole new Spider-Man movie. It would be cool. But at the very least, in Doctor Strange 2, just have like Peter Parker show up and be like, oh my God, Doc, what can I do to help? And it's like, actually, Peter, this is a me problem. You go back and do your thing. And Peter just leaves. And like, that's it. It's just enough to just kind of be like, okay, like Peter's there, assuming Stephen Strange still knows who he is.
Yeah.
Right. Or like in some scene, in some movie, when you're in New York, Peter just swings through. And like, that's it, right? Small little details and little tidbits, right? That show and remind you you're part of a larger cohesive universe.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, how cool would it be if like in some movie, it's not even a major thing, right? But like just if you get Daredevil Born Again, right? That like, you know, Matt Murdock is walking into the office, and as he does, off in the distance, you see like, I don't know, whoever it is that, well, I guess it wouldn't really be the Avengers anymore, but like whoever it is that owns that building now, let's say, for example, the Avengers were there, that like you see the Quinjet take off, right? Just some small, tiny thing, right? Or again, you see Spider-Man swing by, right? Or something like small things like that are what make all the difference when it comes to like creating a shared narrative.
Yeah, it feels like it's a lived-in world that's shared. Yeah.
Exactly. It feels like a lived-in world. That's the best possible way that anybody could have put it. Right? Like it's you know,
that was the magic, man.
Towards all of that. Yeah.
That was the magic, because then every movie just feels like you're back in that world, you know, as opposed to like its own sort of singular experience.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But yeah, I could definitely see the Russos having not really like the final call, right? Again, like that would be Feige's final call.
Yeah.
But I could see them being the ones that plan it all, right? Like everything kind of comes together and gets planned in a structured way, right? And I could see them being the ones to orchestrate all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Either way, I will say now, you know, and I think I was talking to a buddy of mine, Victor, you know, sometime after, during X-Men 97. Right, which we still need to get Victor on here. Yeah,
we do.
If you're ever down with it,
of course.
But yeah, like we were talking about X-Men 97, and you and I were talking about this, and moments like these bring back something that I think has been lost in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for quite some time, which is theory crafting. And it feels so good to do it again.
It does.
Like to actually theory craft in a meaningful way.
Yep.
Yeah.
100% agree with you. It's like, you know, the initial RDJ thing, you're like, whoa, what, this? And then like your nerdy brain just goes to work, dude. And that night, I just laid, I couldn't sleep. I just kept thinking about this and that. And I was like, oh, they could do this. Oh, but they could do this. Oh, they could do that. And that's crazy, you know? So yeah, the theories are super fun, and I think we're gonna have a blast, you know, as we move through these next couple of years and get ready for, you know, Doomsday, and they should just call it Doom War, but Doomsday, and then Secret Wars, man. Did you notice too that the logo for Secret Wars kind of has Iron Man colors now?
I've seen that, and I've seen people saying that it has Spider-Man colors.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think they wanted to evoke the idea of Tony coming back to maybe fight against evil Tony or something. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
The last thing I'll say here is and I want to ask this to you, and I want to ask it to the chat.
Okay.
What if Avengers Doomsday is a ruse?
Meaning what? It's that Doom's not the real.
No, Doom's the villain, right? But it's not going to be something equivalent to like, I don't know. It's not going to be something equivalent to. It's not going to take place in the main Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
What if Avengers Doomsday is basically the origin of Doctor Doom in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's basically Doom kills everybody in his own universe. And it's how Doom rises to power.
Yeah. So something like that would be sick. You know what I thought too that could be crazy is like, what if Kang eliminated Doom from existence? Okay, and because in that Timeless story, that was a universe that was destroyed, but it like refused to completely die. So there was just like a thread of the timeline that Doom was keeping with the Time Stone and the Reality Stone alive, right? So what if back in the day, Kang killed all the Dooms and there's just one holding out in this other reality, right? And then what Doomsday is his return, and he has to maybe grab up RDJ's body, or maybe it's just Doom or whatever, like, and he comes in and he's just fucking mad, dude. Like, Doom was wiped from existence. How dare you wipe Doom from, you know what I mean? And just goes nuts. That would be super fun.
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be dope too. I don't know. A lot of people are saying like Doctor Doom is green, the Time Stone's green. Like Doctor Doom has the Time Stone. Like I see like a bunch of videos.
Loki's green.
Loki's green. Yeah, I see a lot of references to that. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm really excited.
Dude,
to see
there's some juice, dude. There's so much. There's so much they can do.
This is a feeling I miss so much. It doesn't quite feel like I don't have like the Avengers Infinity War Endgame feeling,
right?
But honestly, and truth to tell, I think Captain America will be Captain America will be Captain America, whatever. Yep. I think when the Fantastic Four movie comes out, I think is when we're really going to start getting to like that amazing feeling again.
I agree.
Of like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what happens. I think that's really when the top's going to start popping off.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that too. I was saying earlier, I was like, dude, Cap just has to be fine. Thunderbolts just has to be fun, and hopefully Sentry pops off, and that's it. Like, they don't even have to be good. They can be just fine, and we're good. Fantastic Four is really important, and I think it's going to set up a lot of what they're doing.
Yeah, because it's all, because this is what I think the difference is. It's all going towards something that's seemingly organized and structured that people care about. People are just kind of like, Kang? Okay, cool. Kang, I guess, whatever. Doctor Doom? No, man, that changes the entire narrative. Yep, so it absolutely does. It's exciting. Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, thanks for being here, man. That was a hell of a chat. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Everybody had a blast.
Yeah, dude.
And I'll hit you up later, brother. But I'll let you go, and I'll just catch up on some supers, and then I'm gonna get out of here too.
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
All right, brother. Peace. Good chat, man. Ooh, dude, that was nice and sweaty. Oh, that was incredible. Love cutting it up with Rob about these nerdy things, and maybe there's never been a better time to get him on here and to do it again, because holy shit, that was a great convo. Lots of ideas flying back and forth. Lots of comic book references. That was pretty good. Yeah, Deadpool would be like, I am soaking wet right now. That's what Deadpool would say. Okay, guys, I'm going to catch up on some super chats, and we'll hang and chat a little bit, and then we're going to get on out of here. I do want to say, I have a breakdown for Deadpool and Wolverine. Really sweaty, really nerdy breakdown. I think it's nerdier than a lot of other breakdowns I've seen. I go into like the fucking Enigma Force, the Dark. I go into the actual character of antimatter versus Spectrum. Just super nerdy stuff, breaking down the ending of Deadpool and Wolverine. So please check that video out. We'll drop that later today. And then I'll probably have even more Doctor Doom stuff coming out, tomorrow, Wednesday. I think we're just gonna goon on Dune for like several hours. So a lot of good stuff cooking over here for the content. Okay, let me try to catch up on some of these super chats. I want to start with this $100 one from R. Maurice from earlier on. Says, supporting us nerds. Look, not feeling RDJ's Doom. Hate the idea of him possibly being a Stark variant who becomes Doom. It's going to be tough separating RDJ from Iron Man on the big screen. Look, I totally get that, man. And again, thank you for the 100. That's crazy. But yeah, dude, I completely understand where you're at. I understand the reservations. And I think Marvel should be, aware that those are real concerns, that's a real thing, and that they will have to sort of overcome that. And I would say if Robert really wanted to do it, if the Russos really wanted to do it, and then Feige was like, okay, fuck it, then I'm in, and I want to see what they cook up. But I do hear you, man. I do hear you. Let's see here. Let me just try to catch up on some of these chats. R. Marie says, in my opinion, Stark variant should be superior Iron Man for Secret Wars or a cameo in Doomsday. We need a different actor playing Victor, maybe Adam Driver. Yeah, I totally get that. And I think there might have been a time when they were doing something like that, where they were cooking that up. I have to believe that there is a reason they went this way instead of that way. Could that reason just be hype? Maybe. But I'd like to believe there's more to it. But we're going to see. We'll figure it out. The only thing that I'm nervous about is I feel like it lessens the chance of him playing a heroic Iron Man variant in Secret Wars. Okay, so as far as I understand it, Chad, he will absolutely be back as a heroic version of Tony. And I think maybe what's really happening here is some Doom stuff to make that comeback, to make him being heroic again feel extra satisfying. That's kind of what I think is going on. It'll work because the main timeline Doom will be revealed eventually. RDJ is just a multiverse villain that will be used for hype. Toby to Madara. Angel Stark says, what if 838 Iron Man was actually Doom? That could be. Rossi says some bullcrap. Take that into account. Yeah. Appreciate you, Rossi. David says, imagine RDJ being a body taken over by Doom, and we get a 3-year fake out by Marvel, and the real actors in Secret Wars is Doom. Yeah, I could absolutely see that, man. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, I do wonder if that's what they'll do. Joe says, Loki and his tree will be the Beyonder and Molecule Man. RDJ Doom will find him at the end of time and the end of Doomsday. Boom, Secret Wars in a roundabout way. What you think? Loki, Tree, Beyonder, Molecule Man. RDJ Doom will find him at the end of time. Can you imagine if RDJ is Doom shows up at the end of time and he's like, hey, you're sitting in that chair holding all this time, might as well guess a lot. Fuck you. And then like blows him up. That would be nuts. I do think Loki has something to play here. And I will say this. I thought, just like I was thinking about the dichotomy between Tony and Victor, Reed and Victor, Loki is another interesting character. Loki, who was a villain in the first Avengers movie, is now arguably the greatest hero in the cosmos. What if Loki Avengers Prime versus RDJ as Doctor Doom? That's kind of an intriguing matchup, too. So that could be cool. Peter says, Papa Josh, as a cool uncle, I want to take my 10-year-old nephew to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Is this a bad idea? Would you take your kids to see it? Sorry if that's too personal. Love your content. I would say this. I think the movie is very bloody. It's very raunchy, but a lot of those jokes would go over the kid's head. I think it's so, campy and cartoony with the violence that it's not going to really disturb. This isn't like body horror, although there is, I guess, a little. I'd say it's cool. I give my stamp of approval to your 10-year-old nephew. I don't know if that's going to get me in trouble, but I'm saying it anyway. Let's see here. Tom Cruise's Doctor Doom turned Iron Man. Ooh, that would be nuts, dude. That would be really fun. Because then you could get Tony played by Tom Cruise, but he's actually Tony in Doom's body. What? That'd be nuts. Victor hijacking Stark's body would require advanced gymnastics that will turn lame. It is possible. David says Doom is dream walking. Bro, holy shit. That could be the whole explanation. Damn, that's crazy. RDJ should be cast in the MCU as Green Goblin. Get the fuck out of here. Mitch says, we're back. Doom. Hope all is well, brother. Dude, things are so good. I mean, I'm a little tired. But, dude, this stream was giving me life, bro. In here chatting it up with Rob. Oh, it was incredible. Benjamin says, shout out Rob. I love when he pops into these streams. Me too. Me too. Tim O'Brien says, Josh and Rob together is always a recipe for ultimate Marvel sweaty cooking. Let's go. Much love, Josh and Rob nerdy community. Hell yeah, brother. What's your take on the idea of Stark being 616 Anchor, where him dying slowly creates multiversal chaos, and Meta explains the rough phase 4 and 5? Yeah, and I especially think that could be really interesting if it is indeed Doom, which now I have to make a whole theory video about this. If it is indeed Doom taking over Stark's body, maybe even resurrecting him in order to save the sacred timeline? Oh, that's crazy, dude. That's super fun. Our universe's anchor was Harambe. Yeah, that's probably true. Demon in Armor comic is my guess. No fans want RDJ as the villain that loses to end his MCU career after being Iron Man, the hero. Oh, dude, guys, SOMD Picker, this guy literally speaks for all Marvel fans. Just so you know, I wasn't aware. So now I know. That's cool. The Exit says RDJ's Doom should tie to either one. How could Tony snap with all 6 stones? Or 2, 838 having a suit of armor around the world. Green-eyed Ultron bots. Ooh, yeah, no, I like both of those. That's what I mean is, like, there's a lot of interesting threads that they could play with. John Johnson says, currently catching up on the stream. Much love. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Revival Fitness says, anyone else feeling like being a part of communities like these ruined the movie for you? Fun action mess story 0. Dude, shut the fuck up, bro. Jesus. Nolan, thanks for a gifted membership. Appreciate you. Armory says, Doom killing a council of Kangs mean Kang would most likely have been villain in upcoming project, which is hard to believe at this point. Is it though? Nick Debo says, what up, Josh? A lot to be excited for. Hope all is well. Bro, stuff's so good, man. It's so good. Pedro being cast as Doom instead of Reed would have worked. Pedro is Doom. I wouldn't be mad at that, actually. That could be cool. New Secret Wars logo is a callback to the 84 logo. Yeah, that's probably true as well, but maybe it's a tease. Andre says, did all you buttholes click the like button? I don't know what this is, but this is fancy. Yeah, I'm also flexing it, honey. Take my money, no Avengers for life. Appreciate you, bro. Jaron says, so you're telling me Loki gets rinsed by RDJ twice in 2 different decades. That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. He'll never live it down. OC Steve says, I feel we are getting a Trevored with RDJ as Doom. Oh, you mean like the Mandarin? Oh, God, I hope not. Lady Boner, which I'm sure it won't be just a joke or a meme, says, I can't wait for Iron Man, Doom, and Kang, Tropic Thunder, RDJ variant, doing some pointing Spider-Man meme. Oh, yeah, no, see, there you go. Lady Boner, always on point with those memes. Very, very good. Very funny. All right, chat. What are all you scoundrels saying, man? What are you guys thinking about? What are you talking about? All you scalawags. We'll probably go like 10, 15 more minutes. I am drained, man. I need to go take a nap. Pedro is good at wearing helmets. Yeah, I suppose so. Who's bad at wearing helmets? Is there anybody that's bad at wearing helmets? I don't even know if that's a thing. Ooh, Maestro Hulk and Secret Wars. Okay, can I throw something else at you guys? Did I get to your member chat? I believe so, brother. I believe so. You just put it back into the chat, though. What did you say? So let me throw something at you guys. This is pretty crazy. What if it's not just RDJ as Doom? What if it's Mark Ruffalo as Maestro Hulk? What if it's Hydra Cap, Steve Rogers? What if Hawkeye becomes evil Hawkeye? And who else we got here? Thor becomes like Odin Force Thor, but like evil, or Thor King of Hell, Ronan. Yeah. I mean, what if it is literally OG Avengers versus their evil variants. Would that be too crazy? Would that be too crazy? You mean like Dark Avengers? Ah, he said it. Ah, he said it. You mean how many tickets would I buy? Oh, shit. King Thanos and Doctor Doom. Ooh. Yeah, that'd be cool. Are you not going to talk about how Joe Rogan predicted this years ago? Oh, no, we actually did a whole stream on that. Yeah, it's on the channel. We did a whole stream about that specifically, actually. Yeah. Double the checks. Yeah, I mean, they would be getting paid, bro. They would be getting paid. I'm waiting for Thor crying over Deadpool. They better pay that off. Yeah, I think so. I actually have a whole new theory. So my breakdown about Deadpool is epic. You guys have to watch that tonight. But I already have another theory. Oh, you want me to tease it? You want me to tease it? Do you guys remember on Lamentis when you had Sylvie and Loki almost kiss and they had a branch timeline form and shoot off straight up to the red line? Do you remember? Do you remember? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, just you know, just gonna let that linger, and then I'll put it in a video. I'll explain what I think's going on. Some of you might be able to predict it. Charlie says, how cool is all this excitement and speculation, brother? Unity? Oh, hell yeah. No, I'm having a blast, man. I'm having a blast. I'm pretty excited. John Cross says, doesn't Tony die in 2023? Infinity War is 2018. Endgame is right after with a 5-year time jump, which would be 2023. Yes, I believe that is correct. Claytonium says, Evil Avengers would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, I think so. I think so, too. I mean, think about this as a pitch, okay? So you come into Kevin's office and you're like, well, look, Kang sucks. That didn't work. So it looks like you're going to need a bunch of villains that somehow tie together in a sort of MacGuffin-y way to set up this whole multiversal stuff. Well, how about this, Kevin? What if we do evil versions of all the Avengers? That's how we'll bring the actors back. You'll have the new Avengers fighting off against the old Avengers, and the old Avengers are evil variants, and they're getting their asses kicked, which would make it even cooler when the OGs come back in their true form to fight against their evil variants to save the multiverse. Wednesday full breakdown on Hot D episode 7? Probably not, brother. Look, I love House of the Dragon. I'm having a blast watching that show, but it's all Marvel over here right now. Dude, Marvel just came in. Marvel just went into my brain, and they were like, "Oh, you want to talk about House of the Dragon? Nope, fuck that." And then just so yeah, I'm sorry. I'll tell you this though, I really like this last episode, dude. I really liked the last episode. I'm so excited about Huge Hammer. That dude's awesome. That dude's going to be a menace now. So I really liked the episode, and I'm excited about the finale. Sorry for arriving so late, but please, can you help me with how RDJ can come back when we haven't had a Lord of the Rings reboot? Surely this is way too soon. Why can't it be Reed Richards or Nova? What are you asking? I don't understand the question. Yeah, the last shot was epic, where she's just looking there, and all those dragons are like, yeah, bet you will. I bet you will. And then Vagar turns around. Damn it, Josh, stop making better ideas that we won't get to see. I can't help it. They could just hire me. Or they could just watch the stream and steal my ideas. Josh, did you get the fancy Wolverine Deadpool cups? I didn't. They were all sold out by Sunday. Yeah. Am I going to do a D23 stream next week? What day is D23? John, maybe a little bit of both. Thought they tried and you said no. Have we talked about Loki's place in all this? Does he control the multiverse or just hold it together? I believe you have to watch the breakdown video I'm doing later today, man. You gotta watch it. No, I think he has some influence for sure. Yeah. Josh, I'm seeing Deadpool and Wolverine tomorrow and somehow avoided all the spoilers. Okay, listen up, Anthony. I'm gonna spoil everything for you right now. You ready? Just kidding. What if they don't have anything written yet and they're writing all the fan theories to see which would be best? That would be great. That'd be super smart. You think we'll see Doom kill Loki and take over? What if Loki has to go find variants of the team that beat him in the first Avengers movie, and as Avengers Prime, he has to scour the multiverse and assemble his own multiversal Avengers, which again were the team that beat him. Remember when Morbius says your entire purpose is to lose so the Avengers and heroes like them can win? What if that guy with that purpose beyond time has to be the one to assemble the Avengers again in order to save the multiverse? Josh, can you say MCU rules? Yeah, like that? Like, just like that? Like I did just like that? Morbius and Doomsday? Did you guys see the thing where when RDJ was about to take off the mask and reveal it, somebody in the crowd was like, Jared Leto! It got caught. It was like very loud. Jared Leto! Who would evil Agent Coulson be? Roseanne Barr. Yep. When is D23, guys? When's D23? Do you think Doomsday and Secret War should be rated R? Nah. The pretty little stinky pinky. Yeah. August 9th, Friday, 7 p.m. PT. 10 at night on a Friday? Phew, guys, I don't know about that. Oh, it's 3 days? Okay. Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I think we just do a stream that Monday after that and recap it. Because it's not going to be like, I mean, if you think they're going to announce like even more Doom or something like better than that, you're high. You know what I mean? Like, they'll probably be like, oh, we're still doing Agatha, but whatever. Hey, I heard the guys are going to try to get together tomorrow and watch or play some more Marvel's Rivals. That would be cool, man. That'd be cool. Did I miss my super chat? Probably, brother. I went over a bunch of them. I'll try to look through again, but you got to bear with me here, man. What was the name? Michael? And also, if you make me look for this and it's like a troll or a joke, I'm going to ban you. Hey, it was really positive. You said your reaction to Doom was gold. Crazy weekend, bro. Hey, you're not banned, Michael. Not only are you not banned, I'm giving you a crisp thumbs up. Appreciate you. C Black says, I'm glad they didn't recast Kang. Majors can come back for Secret Wars with Doom. Keep his nose clean. Sure. Sure. Let's see here. There's a couple I missed here. Oh, no, I got this one. I don't understand how anybody could be mad at RDJ as Doom. Him and the Russos have earned the benefit of the doubt. I agree with that. I mean, that's another thing is like, dude, it's the Russos. Like, I think we're kind of forgetting it's the Russos. And they've just signed up to give the next several years of their lives to make sure that Marvel fans are happy. Yeah. Think you missed all of Rossi's super chats? No, I read them. There's a few that I didn't really want to read the actual message. But I saw him. I read him. I gave him his love. Look, here's the thing. I appreciate all the support. But if there's something in a chat that I don't want to read, I'm just not going to do it, bro. Yeah, Rossi said some bullcrap. That's exactly it. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. But it's not like a contract. It's not like I have to read word for word. In fact, look. Oh, here's one from Rossi right here that I missed earlier. Josh is the best. I'm 5'1", and Josh is the best. I mean, that's crazy. I can't believe he would say that. But, you know, I wasn't going to read it. And now you guys are like, oh, here's another one from Rossi. I am ashamed of all of my cockbockery. I don't even know what that means. So sorry. I'm just a Star Wars fan and am so jealous that Marvel's having so much fun. Oh my God, Rossi, dude, that's crazy. I can't believe it. So yeah, it looks like I missed a couple that Rossi says. John says, tinfoil hat, what if Snyder keeps being right and that Jack Quaid scoop months ago is actually true with a grown-up Franklin using his powers to age up? Yeah, I totally agree with that. Oh my God, here's another one I missed from Rossi. Josh, watching you play Magneto in Marvel Rivals is like a religious experience. You're so good at the game and can probably play every character. Holy shit! You guys are right. I should have went through these. Rossi had some fucking bangers today. Rossi had some bangers. Unbelievable. Entertain us, YouTube, man. I know, right? That's what it feels like, huh, David? Everybody's out here like, hey, shut up and dribble, bitch. I'm like, well, I want to do this. No, fuck you. Address this question now. You know? Like, holy shit, guys. I told y'all I was a little burnt out. I told y'all I was having a little rough start to the day, but no, chat don't care. I'm just kidding. I'm fooling around. Are you not entertained? Papa Josh, I think you missed my member chat. No, I remember. I went over it because I remember seeing your name. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, Josh, hi. In the building. Josh, I in the building. Oh, man. Where's it at? Because now I want to double check. Dude, I think YouTube is actually not populating all of the chats, if I'm being real. Like on the back end. Let me see. See if I can find it. I remember going over your chat, though, bro. I remember. Pure awesomeness. We had so much fun. Can't wait to see it again. No Avengers for life. Oh, hell yeah. I'm glad you watched it. Glad you had a good time with it. Yeah, and I do believe I went over it. Oh my God, Josh, you missed my Super 2. Don't go look for it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you see what I mean? Everybody's like, wants to send me on a goddamn obstacle course Easter egg hunt. Rossi's like stealing gift cards from Best Buy, and then he expects me to just read it all. Where does Deadpool 3 rank for you? It went up major points seeing it the second time. I do recommend seeing it multiple times. Repeat viewing, it was much tighter. There's still a couple things that are like, but I'd probably say 9, dude. I'd say a strong 9. I don't think it's in my top 5, but it might be in my top 10. Yeah. Oh, it's good, bro. It's so good, bro. Yeah. D23 equal acolyte glazing. Oh, well, definitely want to skip it then. Did you miss my super chat 17 months ago? Can you go find it? Yeah, I'm right on it, bro. Oh, it says right here. Oh, shit. You are the best. 17 months from now, I will remind you about this because you'll probably miss it. Ha, 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 ha. Damn, dude. Good call on that. That was crazy. If Doom is good at everything, could he beat She-Hulk in a twerk off? Of course he could. I mean, number one, the body control. He's definitely has better body control than she does. Probably even more muscle definition, to be honest with you. And then here's the other thing, magic. Okay, so like, Doom could cast an illusion of him twerking better. And then you'd be like, dude, Doom, you twerk good. You're the best. And then he shows you it's an illusion. And then you're like, oh, fuck. I feel weird now. So. RDJ says, new mask, same task. A world with Doombots all over. Just like Ultron's. Yeah, probably. So Rivals tomorrow? I might be able to. We're talking about tomorrow night, right? I think I'm going to be down. I think I'm going to be down, dude. And oh man, I'm missing Marvel Rivals. I'll probably play some today. Although I might need to get a Warhammer game going on. You guys know, man. Warhammer, baby. But, yeah. Which is better, Deadpool 3 or Multiverse of Madness? You know, on my first watch, I would have said Multiverse of Madness, but I actually think I would have Deadpool. I think Deadpool edges it out just a little bit, but they're both really good. I actually like both of those movies quite a bit. Yeah. Dope shirt. Hey, thanks, Toxic. It's good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Toxic, you come over to the Marvel side now? They treat us so good over here. I can't believe you Star Wars guys, man. You Star Wars fans, I feel so bad. Next Twitch watch party, the Blade trilogy. Ooh, that seems fun, but there's probably a lot of nudity and blood in those movies, huh? I don't know. Excuse me, did this man just say Warhammer? Yeah, I might be Warhammering tonight. Guys, you don't understand. I mean, dude. I'm just waiting, man. We need Warhammer to become the next MCU, and it'll be the most hyped up thing. And then we're pivoting the whole community to be Warhammer fans. So we're all Warhammer fans now. Yeah. Let's see here. Ant-Man's asks about Daredevil. I think Daredevil could be in Avengers 5. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, chat. Dude, Alien Romulus looks good, dude. Yeah, that looked good. Some good movies coming out. Are you starting Thursday streams this week or next week? Since Thursday is the first of the month, we'll be live on Thursday, guys. Thursday morning at 11. We're now streaming because the community is so awesome. We went over 2,000 members. Appreciate you guys. So now we're full-time streaming. So we'll be live Thursday. So from now on, we're going to be live Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Yeah. And as far as a Unity update, I will have one soon. I don't know if it's today, tomorrow, hopefully this week. But we'll have an update soon for you guys. Locationary says, just joining, but honestly, it feels good to see Marvel back on track. Feels like nothing can stop it. It does feel good, doesn't it? Yeah. And by the way, it also feels good to be right. Because I've been saying for a while that they're going to go big and they're going to prove to you that, you should stick it out as a fan. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What might have been the biggest moment in Hall H history, interrupted by some dude yelling Jared Leto. I know, but I love it. It's kind of perfect. It's kind of a perfect, memeable thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there was this Warhammer channel I followed that no longer posts. They made like 2 videos and went dark. Damn. If they posted again, would you get into it? Yo, Justin, you would love Warhammer, bruh. I gotta go door to door and start. I'll be like, doop, 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 doop. Yes, hello. I'm here representing the God Emperor of Mankind. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior, the God Emperor of Mankind? And then we started teaching people, you know, door by door. That would be weird. Probably be like the best day of these people's lives. They'd be like, the God Emperor, what? And then I started, breaking it down, PowerPoints, pamphlets. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Hey, I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. The support's been unreal. Video dropping later today. Video tomorrow. Big old stream Wednesday, man. We're going to goon on Doom. Pause. Yeah, by the way, it was your channel. Damn it! Damn it, bro! For democracy. I appreciate you, chat. Thanks for being here. Much love. Wednesday's going to be really fun. We're going to do some giveaways, watch a bunch of Doom videos. It's going to be really fun, man. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. So you're to blame. Damn it. Okay. All right, everybody. Much love, man. I appreciate it. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Chet, they're requesting the Eagles song. Yeah. Cue that up, huh? Maybe they'll have Doom ride a big old eagle. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh, another happy landing, chat. That was a blast. Oh, it was so fun, man. Getting in there, cutting it up with Rob, listening to you guys' theories, chatting it up. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Marvel is back. I mean, just think about the conversations, the predictions, the theories. Holy shit. Oh, it's a good time. I'll see you guys soon. Much love, man. Much love. Thank you to the community. I'll see you soon. Remember, open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt. Oh.